I think we're ready.
Recording started.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back. My name is Swan, and I'm so glad to be your DM again. We've had events, changes, updates, surprises, and tiny old men occurring. And before we jump on in, as always, I do have to ask, does anyone want to step on up and talk about what happened in last session?
Yeah, better swing.
Well, having figured out that the party's under a time limit, they decided to attempt to use the resources at their disposal, in this case, scrying, to figure out more about the main quest so they can complete it before the time limit expires. Having done so, they encountered the keeper of the asteroid and determined his true nature and met not one but two dragons.
The party went over towards the spire seeking answers after locating the large prism-like creature known as a fractine that is capable of being scryed upon, since it is literally a giant reflective mirror, discovering that its current imprisoned. Actually, it had long been discovered already by Nox, but Nox decided to keep that to himself one day, and I was like, that might be a good idea there, Nox. You don't like to talk about imprisoned people.
Exactly, and
But the players went ahead and discovered the true nature of the Keeper, who has been taking care of keeping this particular individual trapped inside of this mirror for the entire time he's been here, asking the party to effectively continue their job as being the faces that people can turn to where he cannot. It's a difficult request to ask of people that he owes very little to, and owe very little to him, but overall, it's what he would ask of you. And to offer some form of compensation to each of you, he has offered you one thing to scry each, and he is willing to see how best he can assist in your current list of quests. And you guys have all been asked a little bit about, is there something you want to think about or ask him to look up? And I have to let you all know effectively what the ability of Scry is. He will do his best to figure out or look into whatever you're looking for, but as best as possible, the more detailed you can give him, the better it is he can figure it out, because the harder the DC, I will say, is for him to pass. Succeed, and you'll hopefully find some answers. You guys don't have to keep your thoughts to yourself. You guys can work together. Each of you gets one question or one thing to scry each. So feel free to discuss it openly, or keep it to yourself. If you want to ask him a private question or something, he can let you know in private. So with that, we return back to the tower. And what will you guys do?
I do have one quick question. Keeper, or what would you prefer we call you?
Our local resident, Eris, also being played by a wonderful the Falcon, has agreed to be the voice. So hold.
Oh yes, I forgot about that.
Just don't go too ham on it, Falcon, that's all.
What do you mean to define too ham?
Your voice can get very, very deep and growly, which is awesome. It just leads to...
difficult to understand.
Can lead to being difficult to understand.
If you have any complications, still see session highlights. I will make sure to still keep a caption log there.
Can we get the music turned down a bit then, Sean?
Turn down music, okay? Please.
So they can hear me a bit better, because it is, like I said, really low.
I did adjust music on my end, so...
Okay, well, either way. Let's see if I can help this at all. Probably not.
Not to try and ruin your fun either.
No, if I'm making sure you guys can actually understand it, because it is really low. I just don't know what else I can do on my end to further increase durability.
Just if possible, try and do you, and we'll let you know. Let's put it this way.
Yeah.
Let's not make
I'll
you
try.
second guess yourself just yet.
The name is Gibbs. It's still fine with me.
That's perfect.
I suppose we can continue with that.
Well, then your grandchildren, are they in disguise like you? Or are they not actually your biological grandchildren?
No, gifted not with the knowledge, with the known heritage. Their mother kept this from them, bred out their abilities too far down the gene line.
Fair enough. Well, then in any case, unless anyone has anything else, shall we begin asking questions?
All the party proceed. Who would like to step first?
Hearing that no one's stepping up, Nox, I guess, will first. Well, then.
You'll see the crest of the large steel dragon kind of turn down towards you. He stands at least 20 feet above, within this dome, as he looks down from his sitting position, holding in one of his large hands the obnoxiously small bowl of soup that was offered to him.
Noodles?
Noodles.
Also, why are noodles such a thing if he's a damn dragon?
You can all
Why
have
can't a
things
dragon
to
eat-
do.
Why can't a dragon drink noodles? Why you gotta be so hatred?
The dragon, he previously determined that he liked noodles. I thought that was a fitting tribute.
Wow, that was not where I was going with this. Sorry.
I mean, dragon's the ultimate omnivore. Plus, have you ever tried rolling noodles before? You think they can do that with those big scaly hands? It's a craft that the dragon simply cannot engage in. I mean, granted, if you get if you got really good with mage hand, maybe, or possibly a ring of telekinesis, but if you want to get like right in there and make some fucking noodles, you're not gonna be doing it with the dragon's mitts. I'm telling you that for free.
I've been schooled.
Didn't know we were going to spend 4 minutes on the cooking capabilities of a dragon.
No, there are weirder
Little
things.
bear. But Nox, you have the plate.
Well, my request, Dragon, is I'd like to see if there are more odds of Enki around. With this in this asteroid, at least.
It's coming, guys. Just waiting for words.
What, he's not speaking directly through your brain?
All right.
Hmm.
For a scepter that big might take a while. It's not like we can just SpongeBob SquarePants this shit.
Ah, aren't you following in the path of those seekers? Those who become consumed with the power of the shards. Bear a fate on the gods that once were them. I hope you know what you seek. Well, small one. I am sad to say, what you seek requires no scribe. Wait for my response.
You actually see him turn his head slowly in the direction of the others with this kind of not really answering question response to you there, Nox.
Friend, do one of you have another shot?
Aspenbeam may have one, but I'm not sure.
You will see might actually give poor Falcon's voice a break.
It's fine.
You will actually see the magic that kept the dragon's form being slowly consuming his body once more as his body gets small back to its. I realized, did I leave the keeper's picture like literally right there? I did. Okay, well that's a little bit mind breaking there. But the dragon form that he was does reduce back down into this small size. You see this incredibly small man holding the ball of noodles in front of you, Nox, as he then puts an arm around you. And it's like watching a child already leading a smaller child over and away towards what looks to be like the window. Can I not have this token? Why can't I have my token? What the poop?
Because you can't have this.
Maybe but I want my token. Okay, no, I did put it behind a layer. There we go. And he's going to lead you over to this window over here. And as he leads you over to the window, you'll see him take a really deep sip from the bowl and say, "Afraid to say what you're looking for. Wasn't as far as you thought. But you need to keep an eye out." And he pulls back the curtain. And when you pull back the curtain, all the way across the distance, you can see, located somewhere up in the Cloud District, up towards the high houses, a massive crowd has formed.
What's going on there?
If I had to guess, I think somebody is letting others know about her great plans. And I think that is also where you're going to find more answers to what you seek. He'll turn back to you as he kind of lets down the when I say let's go of the curtain, but kind of like it's more so that just him is hidden behind it. You can still see out. Are you following in the ways of the cleric there?
Me? No, no. I'm more so curious. This creature seems to have reached out to interact with me, and I want to know why.
Old gods come, new gods show up. The system's honestly old. It's tiring. But with it, takes another. There's always room to show others. That's how we make a society. By showing others new things. And if I can speak on behalf of someone, home is the most important place now, isn't it? He kind of smiles and kind of pats you on the side.
Yes.
I wish you luck with your quest there. Please be safe.
I do not intend to tangle with more than I need to, and, well, I don't know. Maybe if I can bring him back, it might be interesting. It might be an endeavor.
He leads you back across the all I'm doing is like moving the whole poster around and not actually grabbing the token.
Don't forget we're all on there.
Yep. He leads you back over towards the prism.
Stone. That's who that
And
was.
where you see her growling face looking out. Once again, she doesn't seem to be looking at any particular person. She's just kind of looking through the glass. A part of the fractine is that because of the fact that they are in this pocket dimension, they can't actually see the other side. But he kind of taps the glass so it spins back around. And as it spins to the other side, this is the image you see.
Oh, what?
As
Did
I
we all
said,
do that?
you anyone who be looking at the glass can effectively see this portrait style image of what looks to be an eldritch style god with large horned antlers looking down.
Is that Enki?
Was Anki. Probably what he was left of him before he went ahead and got blown to smithereens. So I say it again to you. Are you a cleric or paladin? You just see these luminous, glowing eyes out into the distance of what looks to be like an old image.
I don't know what path I am yet, but I think I need to look into the type of god Enki was before I continue on this.
Most likely who he was, and most likely who he knew. But when you're one of the old powers, you don't have many friends. I'd say for him, to have someone who knows a thing or two, that's gotta be worth more than 1,000,000 souls. Don't know of any clerics I've ever heard of him anyway, as it is. But I'm sure he'd always be happy to have another one around. He kind of pats your side and steps away from you as you look at the image. He sits back in his big red recliner style chair, kind of leaning back and finishing up the bowl before putting it to the side, his overly large belly kind of just like hovering over above his two smaller arms and appendages. Any other questions? As he leaves Nox to look at the image.
I still must consider mine, but thank you. I'll take a rain check on that for now if I'm able.
I've already checked. It's not going to rain. I can scry that for you if you like.
Thank you. But when I figure out what precisely I'd like to look for, I'll let you know.
He gives like the most like setting uncomfortably changing thumbs up.
He's not okay with me taking a rain check?
No, he just like in the setting of like, you know, serious situations, and someone gives you a thumbs up.
I'm still trying to process dragoniness, so, you know, I'm just gonna let this go for the moment.
You want me to go back?
They said that IRL.
Only if you climb the wall again. I really enjoyed that.
I'm glad to be of service, sir.
But does anyone have any other questions? You don't have to use your scry right now. There's no obligation. You're just here.
Yes, Naya, you're not even on the roll 20 selection, just so you know.
I don't see
Whoop, I
anybody.
forgot.
Oh, I'm definitely here.
And
Sorry, I
Robin,
forgot
you're
to actually
Mar
click
today.
into the. What?
Robin's picture is his other.
Robin
name.
picture
Oh.
is his other.
Oh, yes.
Neat looking
Oh.
dude.
Robin is Mar at the moment.
Yes. Robin forgot to switch that over before joining this one. Robin apologizes.
Hey,
Hello,
I
Posey.
can't hear you over
Small
who you
potato.
are.
What a look at.
name's Keeps. Keeper if you like. I've gone by many names, but preferably I usually like Keeps. Or Keeples. My granddaughters used to call me Kepler. It's not even weird close to Keeps.
I'm surprised they did
Children
not call
will
you
be-
keepsake.
He almost has like a snap. You can see like a snap of the finger and pointing over at Nux. Hey, that shit's gonna be copyrighted.
Well, you're the one with the money to do that, and it is yours.
But he kind of like leans up and he goes, and you haven't even told me about you. What are you like?
Who's he pointing at?
He's asking you, Vale.
What? Why me?
Well, you seem to be really interested. And honestly, a lot of things. I've taken in that you're quite the historian, if I can say, in taking in a lot of knowledge. But you never give any. That's not sharing.
I have none to give.
There's like a long drawn up. Well, damn.
If I'd lived long enough to see anything useful, I'm certain I could give it over, but requires knowledge to be worth something, doesn't it? Actually, I have given you knowledge, and you apparently knew it already.
Well, you're not fun either.
On occasion. Fun was not a prerequisite of my existence. Just living it was.
You can see the keeper kind of like hop down from his chair. You know, you hear the little hoof as he kind of steps across the field and walks over to you. Yes, to answer your answer there, Eris. This is a massive dome. But yes, there are. The keeper's gonna extend a hand out to you, Vale, as if to take yours.
Vale returns her hand, I guess?
And he kind of seemingly takes his hand, and you can see that he flips it over once, flips it back. I mean, you're kind of reaching down to him because of your height versus his. But you can see
kneel if it's not rude.
Oh no, he doesn't seem to mind at all. In fact, he's quite interested. He actually pulls up your sleeve for a second and like adjusts his glasses like closer. His spectacles are massive compared to his face.
Is he
It
reading
looks-
my palm?
Well, it looks like you've got quite a curse on you.
Oh, that, yes.
You got a lot. You got a lot of things going on here.
That's one way of putting it, yes.
He slides your sleeve back down and kind of like pats the top of your hand. Yeah, curses are kind of like infestations. Just takes enough gas to get rid of it.
I approve.
Enough what?
Wait, what?
Now you
Holy-
just need to find a strong enough poison.
Polycarbons, you know,
Going to,
explosives.
you're going to fumigate Vale?
Ooh, I never tried.
I somehow don't know if that will help, sir.
Well,
I've been
you're all,
informed.
Visible confusion.
well, you already said you never had it done. Have you ever had it done?
I've never necessarily been cursed like this. I can't say I have much experience beyond someone telling me that I was required to have a god or goddess deal with it.
Kind of like looks at your hand from all angles, kind of flying around and looking to the other side, looking at the other arm. You'll figure it out. Pat's like your side.
Well, I tried to speak to the one I actually have access to, but then there were other complications.
He holds up a hand. So, I'm being hunted by a devil.
You see him immediately turn in your direction, and there's almost like a leaping jump that he smacks the back of this sofa, and you just see, after a solid second of disappearing, the very top of his balding head, the tiny hat adjusting itself, and then his eyes being like, "You don't say."
He is like, but it was not intentional. And she's going to eat my brother. His soul, at least, which she sits back.
This particular revelation put a bit of a damper on the seeking a way out of the curse option.
Well, if we do the thing and save Mortis, then you'll have enough spare power, I think, to break it. Wasn't that what she said? It's just she's got more than she probably should tied up in us, and she looks sort of like down at herself, picks at something you can't see, like across her chest, and shakes her head. It's like it's complicated.
Well, what do you need from me?
I
love a good story.
Oh, well, I have something of a tragedy for you, I suppose, if you'd like to hear it. A tragedy somewhat subverted? I'm not sure what genre we fall into just yet.
You can hear crunching on the other side. You don't know, but he might have
Started to eat the bowl.
he may have pulled out his own bowl of popcorn.
I'm hungry now. Damn it.
From his bag of holding.
I was gonna say, gotta love bag of holdings.
You just see the tiny slow crunch and the very little movement of his head as he seems to chew. The floor is yours.
Something. Sorry, before I tell the story. Oh God, I have to.
Vale will just come up behind her and go, "You don't need to tell this if you don't want to."
It's not that. It's out of character. It's a year-old photo, but this is what I am making. It's in loot progression.
Oh, I thought you were about to say this is the piece of your background, and I was like, okay.
No. Okay,
Mortis died from a piece of pie?
No. No. So
That'd be an epic way of death. Oh yes, I died because my sister made me pie.
No.
Actually, that'd be terrible. Never mind.
Would not be good. No, but well, once upon a time, not so very long ago, Well, there were several people, really, but we're going to look at just one of them. And he decided he was going to leave home and become an adventurer, like his mother and like his sister intended to be after, she'd finished with her schooling. And he found some friends, several friends, in fact, brought them home to meet the family and everything. His sister had to meet them once or twice when they swung by her university's area. And they did great. They were having adventures, they were solving mysteries, they were doing exciting heists, and they were having a great time. And then they were asked to retrieve an artifact from a tomb. And at first it was going great. They well, my understanding of events is somewhat muddled, but they'd found their way pretty deep in. It had been surprisingly quiet. There had been very little to fight. There had been a few puzzles, but of course the tomb had been the tomb of a wizard, and you know how wizards are. And then
I know.
they
Sometimes he kind of like nods his head. You can hear him like he's trying to like agree with you, but he's munching on popcorn at the same time. So it just sounds like you don't want to look at the back of this chair right now.
Nia's smile gets a little bit forced. And then it looked like just a hallway. They could see there'd been a pretty clear description of the place the artifact was held. And it looked to be right at the end of this hallway. The carvings were right. The dimensions of the door were correct. There were columns. It was fancy. They expected this to, and of course they checked for traps. And they found one. And they disarmed it. Until they got halfway down the hallway and it wasn't so disarmed. And
Chewing stops.
she leans over, puts her hands over Mortison's ears. I don't know this from personal experience, but I'm given to understand poison arrows are not a good way. She sort of cuts herself off, shakes her head. And that's how the adventuring party, I won't say was sundered, but was definitely diminished. Most of them are still alive, as I understand it, but I haven't seen them since. I don't know how they feel about this, come to think. I don't know how they feel about any of this. I don't know how I feel about any of this, but I don't know. I don't know. I almost feel like maybe they could help.
Do you have anything belong to him?
He pauses and bites his thumbnail and do you mind if I borrow your locket? And she looks at Mortis. He hasn't been
We're not
visibly
talking about
wearing
calamari, right?
No, not that. No, he has a different necklace. It just doesn't really come up because it's non-magical and it's just sort of a little trinket.
You'll see that he kind of like looks down and takes a second before turning back in your direction and making his way across the room to eventually reach out and pull out this locket. It does bear the symbol, or a series of small symbols on it.
It won't be destroyed, will it? Like there won't be any damage. I don't know.
He kind of he reaches over. You can see the tiny hand like patting your side. Nothing gets destroyed with scrying. I'm just having a peek. See?
All right. She looks at her brother. It's your call, but I mean, it might be worth it.
And he will take the object, the locket with him, and kind of guide you and Mortis over towards the large screen. Once again, slowly turning, you see the angry woman is actually going about to sitting on a log somewhere in this other dimension.
Sorry, world's worst timing. Timer went off. Be right back.
5-second pee break, I guess, everyone.
Well, good news is my landlord just texted us. He's on his way to grab rent, so perfect timing.
How's everyone doing?
Good.
Falcon and Drew, we have not heard words from you, and I'm getting nervous.
I'm
Good
here
on
in
you.
present.
Good in present as well. We're on a little bit of a break now, right? Just so I can clarify.
We are on break, yes.
Then I will be back.
I know for a fact what I have won't work, but I'm trying to find something with you.
How's Lisa holding up there in the sleep deprivation, Sean?
It's exactly the same. She is trying her best, whether it's with the pumping, which already like she has to wake up like every 3 hours, and then there is the obviously he does not offer any sleep, so effectively it's it's not grand.
No, it's okay. It will get better.
All
will
right,
get
sorry
better.
about that. The cake has been de-ovened and rolled.
Excellent. We are temporarily on a break.
Ah, very good.
Yeah, just waiting for the landlord to show up.
When is
Oh, I
he
see.
coming?
He just said he's on his way, so I'm guessing he's probably at home. So, did I understand correctly that he bred his heritage out of the genetics for his grandchildren?
So I think the best way to say this is that his goal was not to allow it to spread. His daughter did not, meet with another magical individual capable of. I think I worded it wrong, and I apologize. That is the sleep deprivation, but for the sake of saying, they are not close enough to being dragonborn.
Gotcha.
But
Or-
did
so-
they like carry? Okay,
They
sorry, you go
they,
first.
they do carry dragonkin genes, but not enough to actually express draconic gifts.
At least it's recessive enough. Oh. Oh, you mind flicking on the lights outside?
I won't lie with you, Naya. You give me a bit of a headache to match this description so well.
Sorry.
I am
What?
trying my best, but I won't lie.
My
My
brother in
limited
Christ,
in
one
my
of them is literally
abilities.
Jenkins. I think you will probably be as good or better, I promise.
Alright, I'll be right back. All right, so we're not entirely certain how long it's going to take for him to show up. He might show up in the next second. He might show up in the next 5 minutes.
Okay, well, if you don't mind, we'll have the rest of the party kind of go through their talk. If you don't mind.
No, not at all. That's why I kind of left it
Please
open.
do.
As soon say,
As-
how do we want to do this? Sorry.
Oh, you're fine. As Naya, you see the keeper take the amulet and kind of look it over. He sniffs it. You know, an odd thing for a tiny little old man. But eventually he approaches the mirror with you and seemingly holds in focus. You can kind of see the similar to when he was in a draconic form, the impression of magical energy leaving his forehead as he seems to focus onto the mirror. And it starts to give you a clear picture where you see a group of individuals who seem to still be hanging around together and cheerfully moving about. It looks like there's a shit ton of sand. Holy damn, that's a lot of sand. Holy God, I hope they have carpet. It's gonna get everywhere. Dear God. Oh, hold the G. This is the Sutov waste. This has gotta be because oh my God. Well, they look cheerful, but kick off your boots. As you see, and you focus onto the image, onto the mirror, as the drowning out words of a tiny old individual who seems to be complaining about carpets leaves the back of your head. You see 4 individuals, all in what seems to be cheery communication, talking between each other and seemingly discussing a recent payout. The longer you're watching, though, the more
This
you
was not
feel
intended for-
that Mortis doesn't really want to look at the screen.
He just takes his hand because she just kind of get it. Do you want to see them again?
When you go to reach for his hand and you touch it, you feel, I can do this. I think I can do this. As you reach and touch his hand, you're distracted by this sound.
Bird song?
Inside of your head.
Oh no, I have brain birds. Out of character, out of character.
As you hear the laugh of a female inside of your mind, and just the kick of words saying, I smell a betrayal. And as you turn back towards the mirror, you see that there's a grin on each of the faces of the individuals, a very seemingly evil grin as they all seem to turn in your direction before the screen gives out.
What the fuck?
You see the keeper kind of smack the side of the fractine for a second. It changes its prismatic form for a moment. That thing's on the fritz again!
I think that was the devil, actually. I told you she wants him. And this is
No, I
very
swear, I'm
inappropriate.
trying to buy this shit in 4K. It only comes in
what is-
87K.
I have no idea what you're talking about, sir, but all right.
You see, he kind of like goes back to his chair. Eris, what are you doing?
Good question. What am I doing?
Well, Robin's trying his
As
blow in the
Rovin's
wall.
token slowly continues to circle.
I'll take flight and match Rovan circles. This seems fun.
Rovin, I would like a stealth check, please. Assuming you're doing this the usual way.
He's not particularly. He's not. He's just walking around. I'll give you a stealth check, no problem. But he's not trying to be particularly stealthy.
The watchful eyes of the bird, of his Aarakocra eyes, can easily spot the not-so-hiding Rovin, who has grown tired of this scenario.
Eris,
Is there
what do your bird eyes see?
Oh, brother.
I see prey circling. Must follow.
I see.
Shiny.
Is there anything two of you want to know?
I believe you had mentioned an exchange of knowledge, Keeps. Is that correct?
You've caught his attention. He has acquired yet another bag of popcorn.
Where are you getting that?
Don't ask questions you don't want to know the answers to.
I
I
have
guess.
a bit of knowledge that might be beneficial to you. I bring a bit of a warning about your friend in the mirror up there.
Wait, what?
You see that the chewing has stopped.
The warning is this: your current containment solution will not last very much longer, and you will need to address the problem in a different manner. I don't have a timeline on this, but it is imminent.
Geologically?
Within the
Or in our-
lifetimes of a regular mortal.
Oh, goodness, that's practically instantaneous.
If I fly up, can I stay far enough in a way to look at it without getting caught in whatever possible? Like, I don't know anything about it. Just gonna observe from a bit closer.
The fractine?
Yeah.
The fractine itself doesn't. Let me put it to you in this way. The fractine is kind of like a raccoon trap. Once something's in the trap, it's not really interested in capturing anything else at this time because it can only hold one thing. And you would probably be very safe unless you actively attack the fractine itself. But yes, you can absolutely observe it from a different angle if you want. The keeper, though, you've piqued his interest as he turns to you. Are we under imminent threat? That's why I was checking things out.
In case you haven't noticed, we have been under imminent threat for quite some time. I have information concerning your guest there, but that is all that I can release at this time.
Pretty cool.
He places his hands on his hips after seemingly putting down his bowl.
I will
And he kind of
clarify.
brushes himself off.
Know that I am not withholding information from you willingly. It's just the information that I have has not yet come to pass. We rely on certain events to unfold before it can become true.
He takes a moment to turn towards the magnificently large sun siphon. and you listen to the hum of its power as it seems to intake this magnificently large blue plasma through its open sky pole. It travels down through its telescopic lens and down into the tube at the base of the piece, and then down straight, which what you presumed, having watched, passes through Yai's workshop at some point. And as he watches you pass around, he goes, "It took me a long time to build all this. Most of it was already here. But the framework was the hardest part. And I know. After that recent attack, I've come to realize this tower isn't defendable forever. As much as it hurts me to have my lair be under attack, it would hurt me more if the people were hurt by her."
We have pressing problems first, but you should begin to plan a more permanent solution. And if you would like, we can assist with that after our current duties have been completed, assuming that events don't come to pass before we finish.
Fractines are complicated. They
They
need
are, and not
extremely
infallible.
they need extremely large amounts of light to keep fed. I can feed as much energy as I can, but unfortunately, a giant reflective lens is the only thing that kind of keeps it going after a while before it starts looking for other things, and I really need her in one place.
Indeed, and that giant reflective lens does appear to be an easily targetable weak spot, does it not?
Oh, I agree. I'd like to see the tactician individual. I'd like to see the tactician in such an individual.
Mm. Well, let's hope that it remains intact until we can address the situation further.
I
will
hope
speak.
that I will be hearing from you on further input.
Indeed, we will speak on this at a later date. For now, we have pressing matters elsewhere.
Do we let him know about the issue in the sewers?
Shoot. Sewers?
Sewers?
Water source.
The Illithids. Well, his daughter should have been told, so. Or his granddaughter, sorry.
Do you guys tell him about the Illithids?
May
Or
as
say
well
anything?
over here.
Probably should.
Go ahead. I'm letting you guys roleplay it out.
Are you aware of your current situation in the sewers, sir?
Yes, they're filthy.
As if we didn't hear that one coming. Are you aware of the grave danger to your people in the sewers, sir?
Listeria is common bacteria.
Giardia is absolutely terrifying as well. It's why your people ought to be under a boil water order. However, at the end of the day, the boil water order will definitely not do anything for the illicid sperm that are in there in the first place. That are looking for hosts.
Not much like sperm.
And you see him kind of step down from his current area. I'll be right back.
Vale's just gonna blink at the situation and not say a whole lot.
Well,
And he leaves.
Do you think you offended him by using the word sperm?
It's what comes to mind when I think of them. I apologize.
Spawn.
think that's-
Illithid spawn might be a better term, Vale.
Oh, I'm not doubting that my wording was miserable.
It's okay,
Play
given the gravity
your
of the situation.
love.
After roughly 5 minutes, the keeper comes back. You hear the small God fucking damn, why'd I put so many goddamn stairs in this goddamn place? Takes a moment, cracks back as he finally steps like to the final step. Ah, you can come out now. And as he steps to the side, what you see is the tiny illithid chewinga that you had previously
Didn't we
met
save
down in the
him?
sewers.
It's friend.
Oh, we've had a talk. Well, I talked to it. It didn't talk very much back. Not to me, at least. But yeah, we've had conversations. And he seems to kind of stretch. You want to tell them? He kind of turns down to the chewinga, who does not do anything, just kind of stands in motion. Well, you're a lot of damn help, aren't you? Turns back. Elephant tadpoles kind of need a special kind of environment to survive. That poor pond down there was probably the last site that they were ever going to get to. And unfortunately, they got to him. But as for the rest of them, didn't get much farther. And as for your big old friend who was making the Picasso of portraits out of blood and spew, we had words. He can't make any more, but
Oh,
we had
God.
words.
Did you turn him into a Picasso?
What's a Picasso?
You said.
He used the word first.
Dragon. He is still a dragon.
Did you
And
turn him
dragon.
into a mural?
I'm trying to think of like how he would react, or like how he's an overly polite man with a very whimsical style, and you just ask him, did you murder?
Did you ensure that he was no longer a problem, sir?
Oh, he's not a problem. He's a bunch of smaller, like, little bits of problems, but that's more for a cleanup crew. I made sure to take care of that. I can't have my granddaughters go down there. That shit's filthy.
I mean, that
Well,
is how
fair
shit
enough.
is. Yes, sir.
Eris, where are you located at? Remind me again.
I'm fine, just flying around now. I'm kind of looking at the telescope LED thing. Just
You do
Engineers
see
engineering.
the chewinga seemingly standing below you, kind of looking up. It does not have wings of any form, and it does not have a space guppy to ride as they usually do.
I'm just keep playing around, keeping an eye on them for now.
Wherever you may fly around or move, it will seemingly follow around.
Okay,
The
well, I'm gonna go.
Chewingo not really kind of needing to look up, kind of almost guided by a destined path as it seems to move underneath. The longer that
I'm gonna go to the outer ring and then proceed to zoom around it as quick as I can, see if we can follow.
what you all now will watch is Eris tormenting a tiny Chewinga who is currently running large circles
Oh no.
over the course of a very long period of time.
Please try not to hurt.
Hey, look at this,
the,
Keeps. I'm giving your Chewinga exercise.
Oh, he was already around here. Eris, each time you lap around him, when you get closer towards him,
On your left. Anyway, continue.
I'm trying to find it. I had it. It's somewhere. Nope. It is in here. Each time you get a little bit closer, you start to hear.
On here the second time around, I will stop directly above him, land, and
The music is
kind of
very
listen for a
loud.
little bit. Am I the only one that can hear this?
You are the only one that's seemingly reacting.
Just do like little head tilts, like kind of birdsy move. Curious.
You see him reach up, and he's reaching for your wings.
back away just a pace, just cautiously. Still looking at him curiously.
He has not changed position or location. He simply keeps one hand up in almost like a waiting fashion.
I'll look at the rest of the group. Have any of you ever seen anything like this? Do I
It seems
pick him
like
up,
you before.
or should I be more cautious? This is new.
Chewinga.
That's a Chewinga.
I also don't remember what a chewinga is. I'm my brain just went to Taco Bell, but I've never actually had a chalupa. I don't know why that.
Oh my god,
mind at all.
it's not a chalupa, it's a Chewinga.
I know, but what the fuck is a chewinga?
In Chewinga, the
You guys
mighty
can do a
Chewinga.
Arcana check if you want.
Obviously, yes. Hang on. Let's find my sheet right this second.
15.
All right, D20. 21.
Anyone else before I go?
Aren't they nature spirits?
Bingo.
Nature spirits, but with an illithid tadpole in one.
Chewingas are small, shy, elemental spirits that could be usually found in remote locations of within nature and sometimes in untapped locations of civilizations. They stand very small. Eris, the fact that this Chewinga is holding up a finger confuses you, and you do not know what this thing is.
It liked you the last time we saw it, damn it. Don't be rude.
This was the same Chewinga that it had given you a feather.
Oh, well, I'll reapproach and proceed to reach up for the hand.
Except it's been illithid.
See
It
what that
was
brings me.
illithid to begin with, I believe.
Chewinga are, as it says, as they are spirits of nature, Chewinga can be found in a wide variety of biomes, from warm tropical climates of the Chult all the way to the frigid snow-covered lands of the icy Dale to the deserts of Anarak. Chewinga, who are observed to dwell from the reaches of wild space, they can make their homes on the surfaces of life-supporting moons and celestial bodies, at times finding convoyance aboard riding spelljammers and sometimes space guppies. They are adaptive to their environment. They do not eat, drink, breathe, but unusually they do sleep. And when they die, they usually become petals, pollen, puddles, or stones. Groups of Chewinga have been observed to have symbiotic relationships with long living creatures, such as even dragon tortoises. Well known to possess inherent spellcasting abilities and supernatural aid, they are curious and compassionate. They possess the ability to take shelter and hide inside natural forming structures such as rocks and trees to avoid danger. They are agile and hard to pin down.
Given the nature of these spirits, I find it very interesting that an illithid tadpole was able to gain purchase on one such as this.
I did say they adapted to their environment, and a large puddle of illithid tadpoles was dumped into his lake.
Having
So it's not so much that
grasped his hand, does anything happen?
You see that he kind of like holds on for a second, and I need to bring up a picture of an Aarakocra for a second.
herb.
Of a bird person, please hold.
Burb.
Nope, it'll still apply. So as he reaches up and grabs hold of your finger, you feel it's only a very tiny prick. It probably was a loose one, but you feel another one of your feathers seemingly coming off.
I'll allow him. Flinch only slightly, just because it doesn't hurt as much. But I'll still allow it.
He did
You
have,
watch
like,
this.
For feathers, didn't he?
They took several of yours, but they happened to hand a particular one back to Aerith, and seemingly he has created another one. Eris, you acquire another. I have to look up what the hell I described it to you as, because it has been a while. It was a. There it is. A dark purple Chewinga blessed feather token. The token kind of shimmers with the same unusual light and look, almost alien in nature. And then, out of nowhere, although not as dramatic now that I had to say out of nowhere and then scroll and scroll and continue to scroll. Really? That's where the end of my scroll is?
Out of nowhere, dramatic pause.
Out of nowhere, out of a dramatic pause, it becomes a rock.
I'll pick up this rock if it's not
Aw.
terribly heavy.
Goodbye, little friend.
We can stop the there we go. Keeps will kind of walk over towards your rock, and be like, "Oh, y'all keep bringing the dirt out from inside. This is why we can't have good carpet." He pats the rock twice on the head. Polite little fella. Never said a word.
Did he pass on?
Appears so.
They can take the form of rocks and shit.
Or is he just hiding?
Do you want to insight the Chewinga?
No, Nox acts out loud.
Can I pick it up?
You can pick it up.
Heavy?
No, it's not heavy.
Yeah, I pick it up. And...
It's a stone about the size of your hand.
Oh, I pick it up and just keep it with me then.
Hey, Heavy, he's my buddy.
And I'm going to take flight again, see if it...
You have acquired a pet rock.
I'll take flight again, see if it notices anything.
Look!
I'm going to get sued by some company somewhere.
Why would you get sued? Pet rock is not a...
For copyright use of the word pet rock.
You're safe.
Nonsense.
If I take flight, do I get any reaction out of the rock again?
It does not. It continues to rock.
Just making sure.
It knows how to rock hard.
Ah,
I hate you all.
I
And he
mean,
goes back to lounging in his chair.
Maybe it wants to roll.
I guess he won't boulder us anymore.
I hate you all.
Ah,
I just want to make it known.
unfortunately, you have. I mean, you are one of the most stone cold
yes, I
pun
know.
artists.
I know.
But-
And I figured out why this week, actually. It's because puns don't require social cues, which is why I like them. It's only wordplay.
He just doesn't like him from me.
Be thinking to myself, or maybe even mutter to myself there, so... Yeah, maybe this has to do with what I heard earlier. Require
Well, yes,
further
go ahead.
investigation.
Say that out loud so that the rest of us can't hear it.
I can hear it if you tried. Doesn't mean terribly quiet about it.
Alright, so some of us have answers. The rest of us still have questions that we need to determine what the hell's going on about. What's our first plan? What are we going to do? We have multiple things that need to be done. And our landlord just showed up. BRB.
Hooray. Not really a hooray situation, but at least it's,
I was gonna say, not
at least
usually.
he's come, so now we can go. That sounds absolutely terrible out of context. Steve goes in. Why did I say that?
Did I? Did I screw myself by doing that? No,
We
I
can't
didn't.
tell you. We don't know.
I know. I constantly question every action I make just to make sure I didn't overdo it. The answer is
Oh, I know.
don't think. Did I?
Just go fucking ham.
I don't
You think?
think. I don't think I fucked myself up.
If you think you've gone too hard, go harder.
No, I think we're good. How's that cake?
Cooling. I have to make up. I realized that the frosting I actually made last time was literally just hot fudge, so I'm going to make up a batch of that once it's cooled, and then roll the, well, unroll the cake, slather it in hot fudge, roll it back up, slather the outside in hot fudge.
That sounds absolutely delicious.
While they're gone, Drew, was there... You wanted to mention some stuff there while they're gone?
Oh, we're on a break?
Yes. Yes.
Nick and Gaia are up to landlord.
Gotcha. Okay. Do you want to just jump? Let's jump into secret discussion temporarily. We're not boring out
No.
everybody else.
You actually jumped. Han,
I'm sorry?
Back in momentarily.
yeah,
Okay.
Oh boy. Why do I get the feeling this is going to devolve into PvP before the end?
I will not lie to you. I haven't a damn clue what he was talking about
Invisible
at all.
confusion.
When he
Invisible
was like, "Yeah, you're in trouble," and I was like, "I am? Yeah, it's coming. It is? Yeah."
What?
So I was like, "Oh yeah, yeah." Eats popcorn. I don't know what the fuck he's talking about. It's, okay. All right. That that is how you guys sometimes are really good at like messing with my brain when you suddenly like throw in lore that didn't technically exist, and I'm not against it. I wasn't prepared to be like, oh, okay, oh.
Oh lord.
Is this a servant? Oh no, it's just really a creature. Eh. What's the CR of this thing? Yep, nope. Adult. There we are. Version is fine. What does this one look like? Da, 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 da. Okay, that one's a little bit better. I don't mind that one.
I'll actually go check and see how the cake is doing on cooling. 1 moment.
Now I had the chewing of my life, and I never felt this way before.
Oh, how is the goblin today?
He apparently had a good day at Grandma's. Grandma really wants to put him in like a sweater, like a heavy sweater, when I transport him because it started to get colder here. So
Mhm.
you have to understand, her house is up the street. Like it's legitimately just up the street. So I usually turn on the car for 10 minutes. The car gets hot. Put the goblin in his car seat. The car is now warm. He's literally outside for maybe 4 seconds because it's me going from the house straight to the driveway. He's in the car. I get in the opposite side. We drive up. We get out of the car. It takes another 4 seconds. So maybe a total of 8 seconds he's exposed to cold. And she's like, he's going to freeze to death. I'm like, he has. I bundle him up with a blanket. He
Did little
falls
baby
asleep.
arrive?
Oh, hi there, Boris. Yeah. My child was born.
Congratulations.
Thank you. I'm exhausted. But yeah, no, his grandma really, she's like, we need to put him in more clothes. I'm like, no, he doesn't need more clothes. He actually doesn't like that. So yeah, sorry. Yeah, Jason. So
Baby
my son,
nudist.
oh my God, yes. My son was born on the 10th.
Oh. Well,
Yeah, I hadn't seen you in a while.
yeah.
So yeah, it was just to condense things down. It was planned for later, but it because her blood pressure was running high, they wanted to go ahead and induce. The induction did not go as planned, and he was very unhappy with the epidural. Um, they think that because she had been running with high blood pressure for so long, and then the epidural was dropping her blood pressure, um, that it kind of ticked off ticked him off, and he decided to like just randomly hold his breath, and you can watch the decelerations of his heart rate, which was not fun to watch for hours and hours and hours. So I begged them to do a C-section. They agreed. They did the C-section, but he wasn't really responsive at first. So they were about to intubate him, and he finally like started to move around and breathe. And they put him in the NICU, and we were expecting him to be there for hours, and he was only there for like 2 hours. And they were like, "Yeah, this baby's healthy," and I was like, "Oh, thank God." But he's doing well. Babies don't sleep at
Nope.
all.
Nope.
Oh my God, they don't sleep.
Yep.
Um,
Have friends and family on standby for the first couple months. Like,
Yeah, well, we definitely do, but
yeah.
it's oh my God, like randomly. So the biggest kicker is like feeding. So babies love to gulp down their food, but they also don't know
Yep.
how to fucking eat because you feed them and then they start to inhale it. Not like the sarcastic, like literally they inhale it. So he coughs. So you take the bottle out of his mouth, but then he's upset because the bottle's out of his mouth. So he screams at the same time. So you're like, you're giving me a lot of conflicting feelings. I'm trying not to kill you, but you also seem to want to kill yourself because you think you're going to die if I don't give you more food. And I know this is probably some like weird adaptation we as humans created where we created these thrive as primates to constantly feed until full, but once he fills up, you have this weird timer where he's like, I'll either sleep for like 10 minutes, I'll sleep for 3 hours. I don't know. It's kind of how I'm gonna feel it. And people are like, well, sleep when he sleeps. Yeah, but you don't know how long he's gonna sleep. And it takes me sometimes like 30 minutes to go to sleep. And so
Yep.
like that 30 minutes, he may already be like up and awake again, or he might like start to like make little coos, and then I'm having to check to make sure he's not sucking in like something and getting fid. So like it's so tiring. So my wife and I sleep in shifts.
Yep.
Tonight, or when I have D&D, she agreed to watch Bay, and then we kind of like do off schedule shifts, but it's gonna get much more interesting when we eventually go back to, well, let me rephrase. I have a new job, and I start
Oh,
my new
nice.
job. Oh, thank you. I start my new job next week, and then I will be doing night shifts 3 days a week so that I can have more daytime hours and more days with him.
Yep.
And then it should reduce the back and forth all day.
Yep.
But yeah, no, the children, man, they don't frickin' sleep a lick of anything. It is surprisingly exhausting.
Yep. No, I remember having younger siblings.
Okay, we're back. Sorry about that. I had to show the landlord actually a problem with the bathroom.
Oh, you're fine. And do we have the Falconian and the Rovin back?
Yo.
I should be back shortly. She's just got out. What did I miss?
They had secret plans, and now me and Naya have no idea what was discussed. And
Invisible
yeah,
completion.
you guys.
Yeah, I'm just pelting
There-
Swan with silly bullshit.
The secret plans have nothing to do with the D&D session. We're wheeling and dealing on some vehicles.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I see.
Anything I need to take out of the recording?
Yes. They like yeah. Just check back because we talked about Will.
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot are we being recorded right now?
We are currently being recorded.
All right.
Oh,
Just over an hour in. I got to go through.
Okay, so the keeper has kind of gone through with y'all. Some of you guys have asked full questions. Some of y'all have held back,
I think
but
I think Kaya does still have one question to come when she actually sits down, but yeah, go ahead, everyone else.
anyone else have any spot on things?
Wasn't really anything important. More along the lines of, has everybody figured out what the hell they want to do?
Anyone think that we can look into Egg Dog?
Is that what you would like to use your scry for?
You already used it for me.
I believe there is 1, 2, 3 people who have not scried.
Nox is saying it out loud. Here's who's going to do what.
Some people are like, I'm not using that.
My question cannot be asked at this time. We must wait for future events to unfold.
Says the man who did not predict the earthquake.
I don't believe I have listed meteorologist or geotechnical engineer in my list of qualifications.
That was just me. That was just me running that off.
I realize.
I take it you are a postgraduate wall hugger?
I invented the theory, boy.
Oh my.
Roven's theory of relative wall huggery?
Vale, do you plan to use your question on scrying?
Well, if no one else is planning on asking about this Doctor of Plagues, that we should probably do something about. May as well use it for something useful. Keeper, sir. If you have a moment.
You see the hat tilt in your direction. You can't see his head only because it's underneath the view, but you see the hat turn in your direction.
Naturally. I have two things. One, I'm not entirely certain what kind of knowledge you may wish from me, but depending on what you're asking, I can potentially answer. Two, I'd like some information, if you were able to scry about it, on the person who went after the Drippy Barrels folks. Apparently, it
You
was
see
a
him.
person in a plague doctor mask.
You see him immediately pull himself over the edge and fall. You found something?
Something about somebody in a plague doctor outfit. But that's all. I'm wondering if I may be able to use my scry for that.
Absolutely. Do you it's either if you know if what you got? He kind of like gives like he's very nimble once again for a very tiny old man, but he's very like uppity and very like interested. His fingers kind of bounding back to his palms and back.
Nox would help assist Vale in giving a full description of what he looked like.
Thank you.
I need a full description to the best of your ability for an individual he has never met.
Could we potentially use the gal, the survivor? Would she be a focus?
Would she want to be?
Would that be of more use to you, sir?
Could I give a history check? Get a history check from you?
I mean, the gal that's one of the owner or the mother of the
No,
Drippy
the
Barrel?
survivor.
Yeah, from the Drippy Barrel. That's
Yeah, her.
Isn't that the mother?
No.
There was a survivor, but can I have a history check still?
Oh wait, that was the mother's daughter, right? 12 for Nox. 1 second, I gotta help her.
16.
Anyone is
I have one of his coins. Could we use that? I have one of his
sure.
coins?
Yes, we did.
Hmm.
Lovely. Sure, let's try that.
Trying to find. I
Let
had a full
me.
description for him, but apparently I didn't hit the save button. Ah,
Oh dear.
Um,
yeah. Actually, I think no, Vale. Yeah, Vale would have the coin because Nox gave it to her for trying to identify if it's a forgery or not.
I love that everybody remembers what's in my stuff better than I do some days.
You know what's really funny is you mocked me before about a particular feat where I would have to remember things, and yet I frequently have to remind you. All of you. It's like,
Oh, that one! I remember that
We've
feat.
never known anything before in our lives.
I'm kind of intrigued of what happens if I take that feat, which I have yet to take because I don't
I'm
want to
just
make it very
telling you, I
difficult.
remember well. I
We're
remember
very,
things 3 miles back.
we are very, very lucky to have him as a DM. Otherwise, we'd be flapping in the
Precisely.
wind.
I think that means something more for men than it does for women.
I mean, anyone has bits that can flap.
I really don't want to think about the strength of wind that would be required to make women bits flap. There's only so much I really want to have to deal with, and Lethbridge wind is not one of it.
You mean hair, right?
Clearly.
Sure.
Yeah, let's go with that.
Anyway, so
Whatever
do
helps
you
you sleep at night.
do you give him the coin?
May as well.
You hand him the coin, and he kind of already starts to kind of look it over. He flips it in his fingers, kind of looking between. Kind of adjusts his glasses for a second to get a better look at it. Well, that seems awfully new.
That's was my suspicion. I was concerned that maybe it's counterfeit, but he
It's not.
specifically handed it.
And he goes ahead and heads on over towards the fractine. Once again, kind of touching it so that it'll, aim in their direction and away from the face of the angry lady.
He's
Does
so
anybody else see?
mad.
Does anybody else see Emma Stone in that picture?
Yes, I forgot. Emma Stone with 3 arms.
I thought she just had double hands.
Gotta hand it to her. She's hardly armless.
God damn it.
Extra appendages would come in handy.
Suppose it would.
I mean,
I mean, let's face it, we're just handing out these puns on a silver platter.
Speak for yourself.
I have to hand it to you, I kind of am.
You know, you're really grasping there.
yeah, that's a bit of a reach. I'm sorry.
You're pointing a bit too many fingers there, sir.
I mean, he must have been generated by AI.
I don't know how to go off of that one. Sorry, you ruined it.
Neither.
Sorry, a little too on the nose.
Well, at least
Coin
we've
in
gotten
his
to the face of the problem.
as the coin in his hand begins to kind of flutter and glow, you see the fractine turn in the direction for all of you, and you watch as the energy from the brow of the keeper pass into the fractine. The first image that passes up, as you watch as like a camera slowly approaching, looks to be like an. I'm trying to think about it. It's a 3-story house. It's a townhouse style, older in wood. And as you start to go in, it passes through the first door. Heading inside, this one. The first thing that you approach to see is that the entire inside of this house is empty. The camera then turns and heads downward and passes right through the floorboards. As it passes through the floorboards, it will enter into a dark cellar, which will eventually lead to a large picture. The picture appears to show an old symbol, kind of like that of a. I'm trying to think of best how to describe this. Like an old tapestry. Passing through the tapestry, you see another large door, this one bearing entirely of metal and having the face of a dwarf on it. You pass right through the door of the dwarf, and it continues to go down. And eventually, moving through, the camera turns back up and passes through the floor, and you seem to be in what looks to be like the workshop. It's dark, and there's no windows. As you look around, you start to see a number of barrels in several different corners. Most of them seem to have been adjusted or changed. Some of the lids are moved. And you see in the corner several of them that have been spruced up to look pretty nice. On the front of them, you see the Drippy Barrels logo. And on top of these barrels, you notice what looks like implanted devices. And as the camera turns and moves towards the corner, you eventually come upon what looks to be like an individual with jet black hair and a white mask.
That's him.
He seems to be tinkering with these devices. And you can do a history check if you want.
Would Nox be able to figure out that device through more arcanic means? Or,
You can.
18.
Thank God, 22.
I'm going to let everyone else roll who wants to roll. Arcana or history, your choice.
Wait, who's rolling? I'm sorry, my brain.
Yeah,
has been-
anyone who wants to roll, they can. Who's watching is your
Alright.
choice.
Yep. Okay. 23.
23, okay. For those who rolled, as you see this individual tinkering, you can definitely make out the components of a bomb.
Oh fuck.
And this same device was on top of each of the barrels that you saw in the corner with the drippy barrel symbolism on them.
Oh no.
Looks like we should go hunt ourselves an asshole.
Is Nox able to identify any of?
You could do another history check if you like. And I would like a perception check for everybody if you like.
Oh boy.
21
It's always a
history.
good
21 for history.
18.
18.
Um,
16 for Rovan.
16.
oh boy, that's fucked up. Why is that fucked up?
Gotta say, this person
There you
looks
go.
quite dapper though in the outfit.
18.
18. You guys don't roll low at all. Okay. For those who, which basically everyone passed, Nox, you definitely recognize through the streets that we're passing through, your historical check, knowing from your family's history of being tradesmen at times, you could definitely identify that this was one of the major cities. And based on the fact that the coin that you were handed was that of Original Coalition, this is actually on Abora's major city. And what all of you notice as you stare at through the camera is you can see a calendar on the wall. At the very end, you see at the beginning several large markers that have been crossing out each of the days. And at the very end of the month, you just see one big set of words that say showtime. On the table, you can see an invitation Please hold. Apologies, guys. I was rumbling my thing that fell on my damn head. And this invitation is actually surprisingly very familiar to Vale.
Oh,
It's a
no.
red invitation with a large marker on it.
It's the same one that Aspen Beam is attending, isn't it?
This was an invitation to the peace talks on Abora between the Coalition and the Natural Born Forces.
Well, fuck.
And as he's tinkering away, you see him immediately turn in the direction of the camera, and the camera dies.
So he's aware.
He knows he's being scried upon.
Lovely.
Did Nox figure out those components, by the way?
You can figure out those components. They do have a explosive rune nature. Specifically, it is the spell Glyph of Warding. And you recognized all of the materials that were described as missing from the boat.
Vale will crack her knuckles and looking at what she has seen and go, well, if anyone else has something that needs to be scryed on, I'd suggest that people scry quick. Looks like we need to go get a boat ride to go somewhere else. How far away is the end of the month?
So you guys were 22 days till the end of the investigation. and that would cross you about 3 days over into the next month.
Our
So you're
timeline's
effectively
shifting north and up.
19. You're about 19 days till the end of the month.
So we wouldn't make it there in time.
Well, we might make it in time.
Well, let's go to our handy dandy map. Please hold.
Keep in mind that the
You-
counselor has to be there as well. And she hasn't left yet, as far as I can tell. Keeper, has Aspen Beam left Omnia?
I think Aspen Beam is
Abora,
currently holding a rally.
Abora is 5 days away.
Plus however long we'll need to search it there.
That's 17
And
days for us to investigate, get our feet. That's so.
And hopefully not die and or get arrested.
the keeper is seemingly grimacing, looking at the screen as it had been cut black. Well, you all seem to. His words are cut off again, as it seems that his curious and nimble attitude is cut short
Oh
as he
dear.
bites his lip.
What's wrong, Keeper?
Are you alright?
During the investigation, trying to remember. I'm trying to now. Now you guys are making me try to remember about you guys. Nope, actually, no. He doesn't have any information. So he will turn and go. I think it's best all of you act fast.
Now, do we go after your corrupt ass counselor first, or do we go after this? I mean, she's going to be there. Fuck, I honestly don't know how to handle this one at all.
Need to go as a form of service, or that's all I can think of is Secret Service. That would give us the entitlement to be there with some form of political power, meaning that if we were to be caught doing things, anyone that would be foolish enough to create a fuss would be endangering the political environment.
What if we went with her?
You have both tickets.
I do have both of her tickets.
You do.
So somebody, we could already go in diplomatically. Were they specifically addressed to her?
They're more the generic ticket types.
Fair enough.
Did the council vote on who goes?
She's not going deliberately. She's going undercover. She's not meant to go to represent the council. She's doing this
This
of her
was
own damn accord.
this was a gift from the coalition to her for striking up the deal.
Keeper, what do you... I take it your powers are limited politically here, but we're going to have to step on someone's toes.
Well, good luck finding mine. And you would look down and he has no toes.
It's a good thing we're not asking to step on yours, sir.
He hops back in his big chair.
Look, I want this woman. I want this woman bad. But my contacts inform me that she needs to be taken down publicly, and I'm honestly not the most diplomatic of sorts, as all of you have noticed, and some of you have commented.
She needs to be taken down publicly.
Yes.
Possibly Aspen, that is currently...
I would say that would be the closest to her office.
We're
Have
not.
enough evidence to arrest her publicly?
Bale will quietly show the keeper all the things that she's found and explain and ask his suggestions. Is this enough?
She had feathers like your friend over there. I think she'd be ruffled. You certainly know how to meddle in affairs. But I mind you, she is not someone easy to have a good discussion with.
We're aware. That part I'm well aware of.
Knox is going to pat his rifle. We can talk at the other end of this thing for all I care.
That's not going to do us very much good if we arrest her in public and people decide that we're the assholes. It's not as if we're going to, like, broadcast, hello, your person was legitimately trying to take this entire asteroid down. It's not going to go over well with their supporters.
Yes, that's why I am trying to figure out and understand, and the questions I'm asking are, is this enough to declare a form of treason or whatever laws you have here to arrest this counselor and strip her of her rank?
Ooh, that'd do.
Rovan, Naya, Eris, what do you guys think?
Do I need to get the chip pod or ready to go, or what's the plan?
Personally, I don't know.
This has the smell of something far too political for my taste.
Look, it very much has the smell of something far too political for me. At the end of the day, that's what we're stuck on, all right? Besides that, we take her out and there's a shite ton less corruption that we have to deal with when we get back here after fighting a goddamn plague doctor who intends on taking out the tox. Besides that, Rovan, I'm damn certain you'd look amazing in, political dress. You could practice blending into walls with a glass of wine in your hand.
I can do that now, and demonstrates. Pulls a glass of wine out from somewhere that you're not entirely sure of.
How?
Proceeds
Why
to
do
do the
you?
whim.
Mind you,
All right
this
then.
glass, this
Political
glass was
dress.
already well pulled and not it was already well poured, and not a single drop was dropped.
How? Why? Sir?
Because
And
he
if
enjoys
you
proving
want
points.
a stealth roll for that, Sean, there you go. That
That
is a nat
My
20 plus
brother.
Rovan, I would call Rovan a closet alcoholic, but he's more like a ceiling and drywall alcoholic.
half those
Uh,
fumes.
But the keeper's going to be looking more serious than he's ever had before, as he kind of hands the materials back to Vale. Our laws don't dictate. I am not the king. I am simply the caretaker of these people, of this community. I gain nothing from their money. I gain everything from their safety. And I
understandable.
don't.
Have a great day.
And I would say that the coalition's invitation to our lovely community, especially Everburn Corp, known for stripping entire asteroids of nothing till there is little barren, would see to it that this entire asteroid would be wiped clean of its residents, those above and below.
So she's hosting a rally at the moment, is she?
Let the keeper.
I would suppose that would be enough evidence to go ahead and see to a more formal investigation.
Do we take this to other council members, or do we take this to the
People.
Police force?
No. I don't want to know how many others are bought and paid for. You take this to the people, the ones who won't be seeing the money from stripping this place bare. And now you have a case. If for no other reason than she's going to be ganged up on like she's never been ganged up on before. And all of her powers of ambassadorship this way and that won't save her from a crowd of people who want to rip her head off. In which case she'll surrender herself gratefully to whatever police force.
Forget the blind obedience of masses. Go there with this paperwork. Her rally, seen as problem makers, they will most likely on us to.
Assuming that they don't care about their home.
May not believe it. That's why I'm
Not
wondering.
enough on her side, but
Pardon?
that would explain something. And she'll kind of turn to he'll turn to y'all. Sylvanus the Vassalis had already put in his resignation this morning. I believe that's why this rally even started.
Was that the idiot? The other idiot?
That was one of the gifts that did not die during the attack. He was one of the council members.
With Yankee.
Oh dear. Lovely.
No, not a Gith Yankee, a Gif, a hippo person.
Oh,
The Varen the Precept had died during the attack. He was the other one who was in charge of. Sorry, I have to consistently look back at my own lore. He was in charge of the Palace District.
what if we take
Why
this
did
to the
he
Drow
resign?
counselors?
I can go ahead and he'll kind of lean back. I can look into having the Drow Council get here in time if you like.
They we have good positive favor with them, so. And they.
You do?
We
Oh,
do.
yes. You weren't there for that. My whole horn incident.
I see.
I do think that taking it to the other counselors would be a wise idea. First, rally them, and they decide what to do. Such information, I'm sure, is quite troubling to all of them.
Assuming they're not on the take.
They're all on the take, then we're screwed, and this is a fight, and he's even lost. Knoxville point.
He will stand up from his chair and proceed towards Watcher. Please make sure that they safely make their way out. There's a lot of stairs and we don't need injured bones. He turns back towards all of you. I'm going to find the other council members, but work quickly now. Doesn't appear we have many days or moments. And he will step down and disappear below the stairs. The Watcher, who with his autonomous body will more or less take a 10 hut, will politely then step forward. He does not bear a mouth to actually speak, but he seems to approach with a seemingly whimsical approach similar to that of the keeper.
Well,
I have one thought. Riley. Really, sorry. He has the harbor groups. Not so much at her beck and call, but I think close enough. If we go to her, that might be enough of a official police. Make enough of a scene for a public
shouldn't
arrest.
we wait for the counselors first?
That the councils would meet her.
Oh.
I misunderstand that?
Oh, you got it.
I think we might want to summon the voiceless as well, if they don't already know. Vale will look at Naya. You know who I mean. Actually, so too do you, Mr. Shoot Me in the area.
Oh, those people. Ah, bunch of
Yes.
weirdos. I don't know. Are they
Yeah.
actually going to get anything done instead of talking?
Well, it would help if you let them talk long enough for them to do something. Anyway.
Naya, Aaron, Eris, Rovan, anything from y'all?
It seems we have a task. Let's be about it.
Indeed.
Now, Nox has... Did Rayleigh and Nox share numbers, or does that even work that way?
I believe Yai did, but you do not have Rayleigh's, I believe.
Nox is going to message Yai.
How about Amira and the rest as well?
You actually find that as you send messages out to Yai, you're not getting a response, which is a bit more troubling.
Oh boy. Should we summon the goblins while we're at it?
I don't know if that's a good idea or not. Possibly. We want to, I guess, make this as big of a scene as we possibly can.
Too many witnesses, she can't walk out.
Well, the goblins will definitely make a scene, but I'm wondering if perhaps they might steal the show.
Yeah, you and me both.
Always a consistent problem with such. Fine. Was I given any way of getting a hold of the voiceless if I needed them? I mean, beyond assuming that their great eyes and ears would always be watching me.
And whoever's getting a hold of Amira, Nox is going to ask them, do you mind asking Amira if she could go take a look at the Harbor Master's office and see if Rayleigh's there?
Will anyone take the time to do that?
Well, I'm gonna need to go find the voiceless anyway, unless I can find a quicker way to them, so...
Vale, give me a history check.
$15. Vale's gonna pull out a black candle and look at the magic users. Can anybody tell me what this might do?
I suspect you apply fire to one end.
Thank you, helpful one. I didn't ask for irony and stupidity for my actual question. I didn't ask if it was actually a candle. But thank you for your input. I'm certain it'll come in handy.
I'm fairly certain my response is neither of those two things, but you're welcome. I'm glad to be of service.
I'm certain you are.
Nox rolled a 21 for an Arcana check.
I'm going to do, why not?
Candle.
Why is... Oh. He's having one of those days. I got an 11.
You could definitely see seething bits of magic that pass through the blue lines onto the black candle. You two actually had seen these candles inside of the bar of the Stay Together Inn.
But I do not know how these things work.
You do not.
Well,
Right.
my guess is it's matched up with one of its types of the at the Stay Together, what I recall. Maybe you light it. Maybe you throw an enchantment at it. I'm not sure.
I'm going to start by taking Rovin's advice and lighting one end of it for light and seeing what happens. I'm going to light the candle.
Okay. Describe to me what you do when you light the candle. And yes, I know you're going to say I light the candle, but create the picture, if you will.
I'll strike flint and steel and light the candle. And because I have a feeling it'll probably go blue, I'm probably just gonna mutter to it. If I recall the passphrase, it's I have no name. And you lot are the ones who asked me to go after Aspen Beam. Might need some help on that? We might be finally making a move. Join us where her rally is, if you can even hear me through this candle.
Ending of your sentence. Completely opposite of you, Vale. You see Vale striking the candle with flint and leaning down and saying the same thing you said. And it ends with you staring back up.
Sent a message, I think.
I would ask for an Arcana, but I already know that all of y'all are going to pass it. But effectively, this candle is producing major image.
Oh.
Well, that's helpful, but not in the current situation. Can I snuff the candle out?
You can snuff the candle out.
I'll do so.
The veil is gone.
All right. Well, that was unfortunately not what I thought it was.
Fascinating.
Quite. I guess we'll need to do this a long way. Anybody want to go for a walk and meet us at the rally?
I'm guessing you two should probably go, seeing as you have the better rapport.
I am Mortis. Would you come along?
Well, I'm game. I'm game if he is.
Now
Gets
you
up,
feel the
stretches a little bit.
now you feel the hand of your brother on your shoulder.
What's up? She looks back at him.
Don't like any of this.
He sighs quietly, gives his hand a little squeeze. There.
We could always just deposit you two in a temple. Keep you safe for the time being. Although your ability to speak would definitely come in handy because all knows that I can't.
So who will be going to go find the voiceless and who will be going to the rally?
Knox plans to go to the rally, but he's not to make it.
There'll be a detour. Okay. I'm writing as I go. Rovin, where are you going?
Vale, do you require my assistance with these voiceless?
Honestly, they might be more annoyed that I brought more.
Very well. Then I shall proceed to the rally.
Thank you, though.
Eris, where are you going? We have lost Eris.
I'll probably head back to the ship and. Are we going to be needing the ship? I'm assuming?
No, we're going to be heading out to a rally that's being trying to arrest a that may have
Trump's hosting a rally. We're gonna go arrest him.
You could go get your goblins at the ship if you want.
I like that idea.
If they're down for it, I would feel like the backup would be helpful.
All right, I'll head back to the ship and get the goblins if that works for everybody then.
All right.
Don't leave just yet. But next.
Just as an aside, everybody has chirps except for Roven, the great eel eater person thing.
I don't recall you ever having observed me eat an eel.
You let the eel eat your chirp, sir, despite my best efforts at getting you to have one, so you would be in contact.
I don't
Not
know
fair,
owie
throw
eel
in a
about
stone.
any of this.
Just out of interest, what's the range on your stone?
Yep.
I don't think a sending stone has a range.
Fair enough. Except
I think it
Nox
can
will
only be on the
only-
same plane, though.
Yes. And I think Nox is the only one who's able to get a hold of that.
The one stone is connected to the other.
Mm-hmm.
So Nox is the only one able to speak to him.
And Rob can speak to him. I am looking it up right now.
Yes, it says that while touched one stone, you can use the action to use the sending spell. The target is the bearer of the other stone. If no other creature, then no message effectively is occurred. Once sending is cast to the stones, they cannot be used until the next dawn. If one of them is destroyed, it's not magical, but you're just using the spell effectively sending, and sending specifically says that the range is unlimited as long as it's on the same plane of existence.
Perfect.
So you just get one message with it. Till dawn.
Right.
Oh, I thought the sending stones were like walkie-talkies. Shit, I misread that.
That'd be Earrings of Whisper, if I recall.
All right. So Eris is going to go meet up with the goblins and then come to the rally. Rovin's going to go search out the rally. Nox is going to be eventually going to the rally. Naya, plan?
I have no idea, honestly.
No idea. I will write down no idea.
Well, what is everyone else doing again? I'm sorry, I'm having a really hard time
Naya,
holding
go
my
with
thoughts
the
today.
others. Go with the others. I'll take care of the voiceless. I'll meet you all at the rally. At least, if
Yeah,
anything
yeah,
goes
sure.
kerblowy, you'll be relatively safe with the rest.
Be careful. Yep,
They
does
couldn't
go.
get me the first time.
Naya Kablooby.
Voiceless second chance.
Second chance?
They couldn't get you the first time, you're offering them another one.
Oh, it wasn't them that I was worried about. They're the ones who got me back from the last. Bill's gonna swirl her cloak and a whole bunch of dust and ice will come straight off of it.
You do realize they do have laundry facilities on this asteroid.
Sorry, I meant ice dust and snowflakes.
You mean frost?
That stuff.
That stuff.
You do realize that cloaks are intended to keep you warm, not the opposite.
I am. This one's special.
It certainly is, though I will point out that special does not mean useless. You're useful.
In this case, it's quite useful.
If you say so.
You just haven't seen it work yet.
You guys
That is
remind me
indeed the
of
problem. It doesn't cloak very well.
One day you'll see it in action, then we can have this argument all over again.
I eagerly look forward to that day. But in the meantime, I suggest you get your money back, for you have been thoroughly swindled on that purchase. Unless it's a hot day, but one does not typically wear cloaks in hot days. You might get caught.
I feel that any viewer would be enjoying the fact of knowing that Rovin and Vale have competing one-liners against each other.
I'm
for
gonna expend
negative.
1 charge on that cloak and make it really hard for everybody around me to. Hang on. First, I'm gonna like walk away about 10 feet and make it really hard for everybody around me to walk. No, I'm showing off.
And now there is a large cloud of snow particles.
That effectively makes it very difficult to move within 10 feet of me.
You could get the same effect with a 2 copper jug of oil.
And as I walk, snowflakes drift behind me and vanish upon touching the ground. Shit! Let me have my fancy cloak!
Holy shit! What the fuck?
Vale got upset that her fancy cloak was
Upstaged by a small
that.
bit of cooking implement.
It's
Asshole.
a very nice. It's a very nice fancy cloak.
It's
But
an antique.
we will say that the two of you continue to barter against each other with insults as you eventually leave the building.
I've got places to be.
As you all head in
Anything
your separate
coming.
directions.
Yes. Keep an eye on the boy and his lady, if you would.
And you have been
Rovan
given
will
the
look at
path.
Eris and say, who is she talking about?
God fucking damn it. I'll be right back.
And Vale is gone. Just because I don't know where he's going real quick. Noct, where are you detouring?
Okay, so did anyone try to make a call towards Captain Amira? Take that as a no. So before Rovan and Eris run off, he's going to call Captain Amira.
I can't match the voice only right now, only because I'm a little tired.
Okay.
That's not your fault, but we will act out whatever conversation you're gonna have. Please, you do make contact with her. She does answer.
Captain, are you at the ship right now?
I am. She would be indicating that she's actually over at y'all's port. She is happily making sure everything looks nice. More people have arrived to offer more goods. Several people still want to talk about the body in the front yard and property values. She's been out talking people over and over. A bunch of people have wanted to set up deals with y'all to set up new upcoming jobs. But that's basically what's been happening. She is not at the port.
Okay, thank you very much. Has anyone come to you talking to you about Yai or Riley? Really?
She will indicate that she has not heard anything from Yai Riley except for people asking, having previously been directed there by Yai from the workshop.
Okay. Thank you, Amira. Good luck. We're going to go see. We're going to go create a political incident.
I'm sorry, what? And it cuts off.
All right, Eris, if you're heading back to the ship, can you look for the harbor master, Rayleigh, and see if she's in? And then get a hold of me as soon as you can, because if she's there and she can summon the guard of some sort, it would be helpful to have some official law enforcement with us as we attempt to disturb the peace, as they say.
I'm going to find Rayleigh and tell her to bring some guards and make this more official.
Yes, I think the more official, the more people, the more public this is, the better we're going to be.
I will stop by and see if I can find her while heading back to get the goblins.
Right. Rovan, shall we go then?
I'll open the wings and take flight.
Okay, I guess it was Jason. Okay. Eris, with your speed and then through the skies, it is unmatched when it comes to eventually making it back to the ships, should I rather say. Sorry, gotta move your token. You're at the bottom. But as you enter in, the port is busy as ever. People coming in and out, soldiers attending to and from. You could already see several of the goblins have already gone back and forth from moving different goods from one ship to another. Truth be told, they don't actually know which ship is the one that's supposed to be taking off, so it's the same boxes being moved back and forth one after another. Just one set of the six go get one set of boxes, the other set of six go to get the other set of boxes, and that just seems to shuffle back and forth in some meaningless tirade of confusion as the one kobold that tries to keep the group together. I told you already, we don't need to do this.
God bless his little soul.
What do you do, Eris?
I'll find the harbor master first because that was requested of me. Rayleigh, I think it is.
Okay. So you go and head to the harbor master's office, and you do locate her attendants, and they will greet you happily, having identified you from the group that actually some of them actually want to talk to you up a little bit because you were here during the horrific invasion of the tyrant ship. Some of them have questions. What you doing on Friday?
I'm sorry, they're all ladies, you said, right?
Yes, they're both ladies.
All right, ladies, I'm just here for the harbor master, but do have other business to attend to afterwards. Is she around?
I'll tell you, sorry, she actually went out. She went with her sister. They kind of went in a rush.
You know where?
Did you want me to leave a message?
Where did
One
go?
will look to the other and be like, they didn't really say. She just kind of left in a rush after Yai had arrived. We already had lunch, so we didn't think they were trying to go off on break already, but they went by themselves.
Okay, thank you.
Kind of looks spooked, honestly.
All right, thank you for your time. I have to proceed. And I'll proceed to leave and head over and get the goblins. On the way over to get the goblins, I'll contact Knox and let him know what those two have just told me.
Thank you very much, Eris. See you at the rally soon.
You'll eventually find Dag and the 12 goblins seemingly being honestly completely and utterly useless between each other as they
Nope.
run between both ships, trying to seemingly organize the same stuff back and forth, and
Nope,
having
they both
communications
ran
about which
off
one
in a
they're
hurry.
supposed to be technically preparing. You'll actually also see Klapnik still on guard, watching the last call as instructed by
No idea.
Knox.
I will catch up to him and proceed to tell him the things.
Just a little concerned.
What? Tell me
Ran
what
off in a
you're
hurry.
instructing to. Oh, are you talking to Dag or to Klapnik? Sorry, my bad.
Which one's which?
Dag is the kobold leader, and Klapnik was the soldier that was instructed to guard the ships.
Talk to Dag.
We're playing goblin music, or not goblin, clown music. That's not how that works. There we go. Go on.
I'll talk to Dag and let him know that his presence is required, and we're going to be.
Don't we also have a crew?
You do have the goblin crew. Oh, and you do have the Hodozis.
Hodozi.
That's right, you do have the Hodozi. Look at
They're
y'all
they're
being
laughing at the
bright and-
goblins be absolute. Or did they even come back from lunch? That's the other question.
Weren't they all
Oh, yeah,
supposed
they-
to be on the ship?
Yes, they did come back to the ship. They did not entirely abandon their post.
Oh,
Okay,
good. We
hold
have
on.
relatively
Small
loyal
army.
crew.
Now you have to make me like go find their tokens real quick. Hold on.
Welcome.
Because I wasn't. It was 1, 2, 3. Copy.
Oh, Amira. Yes, I got hold of Amira. She's at home.
I think I had better
Home base,
Hodozi.
dealing with.
Actually, no, I do have better
Oh,
Hodozi.
value.
Hold on.
I mean,
Anyway, yes, you are able to talk up Dag and the Goblin crew as they listen in on the incredibly interesting job that you're talking them up on. The offer of work is very enticing to them.
That's because we're cool.
they're working with
Wonderful.
us.
Did I not leave one single token for myself? Like a helpful Sean?
Sure.
I didn't do it at all? Nope. Okay, let's see how it is. Alright, well, that's fine. I'll find it later. So, I will go ahead and go to this. And you do recruit the goblins and the Hodozi, and you head immediately back?
I'll head to the rally point. Either with them or just Lena in general. Assuming I know where the rally point is. At this point.
It's a bunch of people gathering. Hopefully it won't be too hard to find, because I don't know where I'm going either.
Those who went to the rally, in this case, Rovan and Naya, how do you guys approach as you head in?
And Nox.
And Nox, sorry. And, well, that's right, you didn't really take a detour, a true detour, so how do you guys approach the rally as you guys start to make it through the streets? The streets getting slowly more and more busy as you eventually make your way.
Hmm.
I have to say, we
Well-
want to be as quiet about this as we can until it's time.
Discreet?
I recommend nonchalant and discreet.
Nia takes a moment to duck into an alley, tie her hair up, and prestidigitate it a very boring brown. And sort of. It's not really a disguise per se. She's just sort of adjusting her posture to like she's slouching a little bit. She's not, walking quite so confidently.
She's toning down the
you know.
flamboyance.
Exactly. She's pulling
Take
herself
down
in.
the bard.
Yeah, exactly. Well, part of being a bard is being able to turn off being a bard,
She's not sitting there projecting this aura of I am awesome and will fuck you.
Up.
Fuck you up, I'm hoping.
That one. I like that one.
I'm over on the side yelling up, add up.
I did not ask you before we cut to the rally scene for a second. You head on over to the inn.
I guess
Oh.
so.
I forgot to ask Vale. You were heading to the inn, correct?
Yeah, I was gonna meet them all there.
You actually to the Stay Together inn.
Naturally.
You actually find that the doors are closed. That's actually kind of upsetting. A couple people wanted to come on in, and they seem to be passing by, but you do find that the large metal door that covers over each of these separate delves is actually shut closed.
So the dells themselves are locked.
The delve, their door is closed. You hadn't actually seen it close before.
The bar or
The bar.
okay. Can I knock?
You may.
Do you?
Yes, I knock quietly and try and let them know who I am and without mentioning too much.
A quiet knock on the metal door leads to no response.
Can I go around back?
This is a cave.
Oh, I'm not
Inside
gonna
of a
try and pick
cave.
my way in. It's not very polite.
There's not really a back door, though.
Fine, can I thump a bit louder? It's a bit of an emergency, guys. You said you'd be keeping an eye on me, so either you're there already or you're here. And if you're here, get your asses out here. We gotta go.
One person beside you kind of like goes, "Yeah, we want to come on in and drink."
Yeah, that wasn't what I meant. Fuck off. You can come back and drink later. I've got business with them.
He looks kind of irked, but then kind of steps off when he realizes that
Thank you,
you're
dear.
one of the individuals. There's no response from the bar.
Fine, I'll go off to the brally.
Well, that was easy swayable.
Well, it's either that or I'm picking my way in, and with a whole bunch of people around, that's rude. And also, they're in a cave, so it's not like there's any back doors and or windows. Actually, the beggar guy used to sit around the side, yeah?
He inside.
Inside, alright.
Portion of this was also I was like setting up the scene a little bit.
Well,
Can't do anything unless you choose.
But I can firmly tell you, there, Vale, that there is no response from that door.
and they gave me no way to contact them.
No way to contact them.
Can I look around and see if anybody's keeping too close an eye on this that has more than a passing interest?
Sure, you can do a perception real quick.
15.
Other than those that seem to be irked by the fact that they can't drink, which is odd that the Stay Together Inn has not been closed like this in a very long time. And for a bar that usually never shuts its doors, there's no one who seems to be kind of idling around that you can pick up on, similar to that of your thieves' abilities. But this is very unusual.
Who's milling around?
Oh, that's me. Sorry.
No. Like, people-wise, who's milling around?
A couple very sobering drunks.
They're big enough to cover, like, me? Like, protect me
sure.
from looking, being seen.
Yeah, sure. We'll go with yeah.
Hey, boys. Got a proposition for you. If I needed to do
The-
some sketchy shit, because I got some friends who I really need to see in here, not for drinking, I promise. I wouldn't leave you two out in the cold like that. Could you cover me if I wanted to quietly make an entrance and I'll pay you in booze?
The two kind of look at each other and they're like,
I got a flask, you can split.
"Listen, lady, we don't really want to make any more trouble than we need to, especially with."
It's really, really good wine.
One of them kind of see that if we get inside, we can go ahead and get to bed. I don't want to go to jail again.
Look, I'm not asking for... I'm not gonna let you two in. Sorry. Because...
Oh, and they immediately leave. I feel like the real
make
Vale is a
stealth
little
roll.
angry.
It was
Okay.
kind of funny. Just you said that, and just the sigh I watched over here was like, yeah.
I'm gonna make a stealth roll, and I want to try and pick this lock.
Okay, stealth roll.
Shit, hang on. $24?
You are effectively invisible.
Picking the lock then.
All right, I need a lock picking roll.
21?
You will find that the lock does not open.
Yeah, of course it doesn't. They know their craft about as well as I do.
I was about to say, I actually do have a number I wrote down before you did this, and you didn't hit it.
That's fair. Can I try again?
Yeah, sure.
Let's let it
25.
You hear a click.
Now is that my lockpick breaking?
Nope, that was the door and hit locking.
I'm gonna slip in real quick and close it behind me. And check to make certain nobody was watching that. This is the part where I get trap attacked, I'm sure.
You close the gate behind you, but you don't seem to have drawn any additional attention, other than two very angry people.
I told them I wasn't gonna let them in.
You head inside and find that the lights inside are out. It is very dark in here.
dark vision, right?
I have dark vision.
Moving through this. Okay, this is way more like. I didn't need to be like
Dance
that.
music.
I didn't mean to be that dramatic. There we go. You head down the usual small path leading to the house, and you find the door is unlocked.
I'll knock.
The door is open.
Guys, Samantha, others whose names I don't yet know. I'm not here to rob you, I just want to check up on you lot.
You don't see Samantha or Darren. You don't
Do I
see the
see
usual
anyone?
guard. There's no
What's
one
it
home.
look like? Has this been ransacked or like...
Nope. Looks almost like business has been closed. Glasses are hung up. But this is very peculiar.
Well, the entire situation's peculiar, and I don't have time to waste. Can I see if there's anything particularly out of place that would be obvious? Like somebody leaving a note or a
The
passcode?
only indicated change or difference is the one flickering candle that sits next to the scale that your items were placed on at the beginning.
Can I go examine that?
You can. Do an investigation check.
Being a candle. Okay.
That is?
14?
With a 14, you watch the flame of the candle for a few seconds, realizing that once again you don't have any breath, so you don't really change the atmospheric pressure, therefore it doesn't seem to flicker more than usual. But it has not changed in quality or style.
Candles
You usually
work
remember
when they give me.
you usually remember the bartender at least attending to you immediately, but the fact that it's closed, the fact that people outside are indicating that it's never been like this.
Something's wrong. I'm gonna radio up to the others by a chirp. Hey, you lot. Has anybody seen the harbor master or anybody? Were you guys able to get a hold of her?
Anyone respond back to her?
Knoxville? No. Apparently she's missing too. Her and her sister went running off. Why? I guess your friends are missing?
The tavern's closed, and there's a couple of very angry people outside who say that this doesn't happen. Ever.
Getting too coincidental.
Unless, hey Naya,
Eh?
nobody looks familiar in this crowd, do they?
Please hold.
Thinking that they might be here already?
Well, they did say they'd keep an eye on me, and us, and the situation. So, no guarantee they wouldn't be around.
You guys approach into the city square from the side to see a number of large groups of angry people chanting out and screaming, many of which cheering, as you can see Aspenbeam taking a stage and giving a speech out. A number of her followers discussing and guarding her on either side, her advisor to her right and left, as she begins a speech about change and the importance of what it can bring.
I'm going to assume that somebody has briefed me that that's happening, and I'm going to try and slip my way out of here relatively soon. Mostly because I also reread the letter and it said that they would send reinforcements for whatever action we chose. So I'm going to assume that the voiceless are running around here. Does anybody have any suggestions?
Get here quick.
Alright, I'm going to flee the scene gently and relock the door as I do.
Consider it burglar?
I didn't take
Okay, fine. Consider it home invader.
that. I can agree with.
I believe it would be business invading. Establishment.
Ladies and gentlemen, change is an inseparable part of nature.
How long would
Seasons
it take
come and go. It'd take you, if you book it, roughly about 20 minutes.
I'm booking it.
And you don't have to worry about stamina.
Yeah, I'm
Seasons
fucking
come and
hardcore
go.
booking it.
Species adapt over time, and yet humanoids remain fundamentally different. We are utterly adverse to change. We structure our lives around routine. We scarcely venture into the unknown. We preferred straight paths over more circuitous journeys. In a world adverse to change, I hope to encourage you all to embrace it. My father, God rest his soul, passing could have been an obstacle. It could have been closed doors of opportunity and pressed my family into mourning. But instead, I embrace the unexpected of life, and in doing so, turn tragedy into a chance for new beginning. I embrace a new country, a new language, new friends, and new opportunities. The world is full of unknown, but we shouldn't approach them with fear. We should explore them and encourage them with curiosity and courage. And she gives a chance for the crowd to kind of get riled up as they seem to be all with her.
Nox is looking around. He rolled a 15 for perception. Does he see anyone he knows in the crowd?
Looking,
Probably also helps.
Naya, I am very sad to inform you. You do see the little old Jensai and her son in the distance. Part of the
Oh
crowd.
no!
But they have not yet spotted you.
Will they?
Hopefully they
spot
don't.
her? Her chain?
Nia is lying as low as she possibly can. Although it could be really, really funny.
To pull the attention from her to you.
Exactly. Just
Eris, you arrive a short time after Goblins in Tow at the south part of the image.
Do I see any friends?
Not from this direct angle.
Keep my eye on flying.
Not from this direct angle, you can see the top of Compression. He is the tallest in the group.
Direct the goblins toward compression. Because where compression is usually means there stops.
You're gonna just walk through the crowd?
I'm gonna fly over.
He's gonna let the goblins walk through the crowd, I think.
I'll direct him in a way.
I think your token should be controllable. Yes, it is. Okay. And And right about then, you'd also have Vale, who would be coming out of a side street.
So depending on how this is going, do I see anybody I know? Have the counselors arrived yet?
You don't see any of the counselors, but you see that the crowd is building more people. People are calling out from their homes. Vale, as you are passing through, you could still see that quite a few people are guarding the home of Aspenbeam after what had happened.
Naturally. Well, should we make a ruckus?
I'm wondering if we want to either approach her directly or go through the crowd and start heckling her and seeing what mood of the crowd is, especially if they're more pointed heckles.
I like that one. Why don't you guys do that? I'm thinking of approaching either on the stage with her, where I can unveil what I've found.
Unveil.
or I go straight onto the roof.
You know what? I bet if you were to take a position above her on the roof, when you start declaring what you've discovered, A, you have the high ground, and that is far more attention-getting, bit of a shock value. And then her minions can't muzzle you.
No, they won't be able to.
They attack you. Well,
Assuming I'm arriving as they're talking about this, so he's like, do we
Oh, no,
need a
the-
distraction of some sort, or are you guys just
No,
wanting to...
I really like the idea of the heckles, of going through
Should
the
I
crowd
go
and
with you,
heckling
maybe?
them. Can you climb?
I don't think any of us
Yeah.
can climb as effectively.
Not remotely, no.
What's my strength? Maybe I could carry you.
Hmm.
Got a 14 plus 2. How heavy are you?
Nia's not terribly large or heavy.
DM, what would I need to roll? Because I got one more luck.
Naya, how much roughly would you say you weigh?
I'm terrible at estimating these things. She's probably in the realm of like.
Were you guys planning on going?
Actually, Eris, could you carry Naya up behind me?
Could be very well possible, but I'm just wondering where you guys are planning on going. On the steeple above?
Careful how
And
much
then I
fanfare
can-
you announce yourself.
Easier for me to go up first, and then Naya could appear behind me.
Well, if I make myself larger, I'll just take you both up there and land behind you and make it really intimidating.
Yeah, no, I want to be the first one up there because I've got the evidence.
And I'll just grab their attention so you can deliver the.
I still like the idea of heckling and seeing what the crowd says.
I intend to. That regardless, that's going to catch her off guard and her motivation. Right now, this entire crowd is eating at her hand. If we toss in comments and some crowd pick up on it, might be able to start breaking her support before you're dead.
I'll get in
First,
position.
talk about the struggles of the city, the increases in taxes that have been having ongoing issues with communication between the other council members. She talks about how the breakdown of society has been growing old because of stagnant blood, and that it is time for new.
Oh, shut the fuck up. Sorry, she's muttering that. I'm also approaching low, so... like,
Okay, so I will tell you you're on the third story.
yeah, that's fair.
I'll try
So
and lift.
you are way above her.
Try and lift Nye up to behind
no,
where Kai
wait.
is
Give it...
when it's
I'll
ready.
let you know. She'll say over the chirp. Alright, hecklers. Now would be a good time to start.
Russian stay here. If battle engages, run to my...
Nox, the goblins are also here as well on the what's that south side, Sean?
Oh man, they're so good at being loud. I love those guys.
Nox is going to smile, put his hand on Eris' shoulder, or I guess forearm.
They're at your discretion. I brought them with me, but I think they listen more to you than myself. I'll leave them to your command.
I need to be in position.
Alright, Nox is going to go over to the side here and just kind of wander on by.
From my vantage point, can I see anybody I know, an approaching selection of counselors with a very tiny man at the front, maybe?
You don't see any of the counselors. You do see one of the women that was in the meeting involving the two coalition guards. But otherwise, most of the people who are in this crowd seem to be from the high town. These are people who are more of wealth, people of nobility.
These are the people who'd be able to make money off of her deal.
We need to make sure that, and Nox will say this with chirps, we need to make sure that we portray her as a greedy one that's going to
She is.
throw them to the wolves.
Well, she is. That's easy.
Nox is going to approach Dag unless anyone else is doing something.
The goblins and the kobold will immediately drop to their knees and be like, "The bootmakers have arrived." The Hodozi are completely like unaware of this ritual, just kind of standing there, kind of like, I was supposed to kneel. I don't really know.
Nox will shake his head. No, you don't need to.
They all agree not to.
Nox is going to hold his hand out for Dag, and he's going to grab his forearm and get Dag to grab Nox's own forearm and say, like, I want you to greet me with that from now on. Or my friend.
All the goblins immediately like start to like pile up close to like see the secret handshake.
Literal secret handshake. I love it. Yes.
All right, friends. Right now, we have a counselor that is very, very corrupt. But the problem is, the people here believe that she is of pure intent. We need to make a polite ruckus for now. Heckle her. Call her names. Call her corrupt. Just do what you guys do best. And if things get rough, defend yourselves and try not to hurt anyone.
In the eye of the bootmaker! Turns around to the squadron. Attention, troop! We have our objective! I want noise! I want firepower! Immediately you see a gun rise. Not that much firepower!
Nox is going to wipe a little tear from his eye, going, "Yep, this is the natural born leader. Damn."
I love these goblins. I love them so much. I'm so glad we have.
Most of the Hodozi completely understood exactly what you wanted. They just want you want them to heckle. But the goblins are really getting into like, we're gonna go fuck them up. Really? Well, no, that's not really what he meant. But he said we gotta go get him. All right, so we go punch him. No. Well, emotionally, how do you punch someone emotionally? Like, they are overthinking it, while the Hodozi have to explain, like, no, they want us to curse at them. Oh, okay, we can curse. We're really good at it. Kanakoa taught us this. No, not with actual curses.
Goblins, follow your Hodozi friends. They will show you what to do.
And they are all talking in one large group between each other.
Well, when you're ready, come meet me in the crowd.
Haywin Aspenbeam continues to have her conversations talking about how the Spire has been an overshadow onto the people and has been a continuous eyesore that has done nothing but remind people of being trapped beneath
Please heckle it.
the lack of change.
Hey Naya, a strum might go real well.
The only good change is you leaving! Nox is going to yell from an area and just kind of shuffle aside, like looking around going, who the fuck yelled that?
Stealth check?
Can Nia assist by prestidigitating a sort of lute drum sound from sort of one side of where he yelled?
Yeah, I'll take that. I will say it will negate his disadvantage. Rovin and Eris, are you guys doing anything in particular?
I'm hanging with Naya at this point, waiting for my signal.
Now, remind me, are you above the ground or below the ground? Below the ground. On the ground.
I'm on the ground with Naya.
On the ground. Okay.
I need to lift her up when needed.
And Rovin, what'd you say?
Rovin is sort of standing back, not doing his wall meld, waiting to spring into action if required, but is not taking any action. He's not enjoying this crowd or being this open, so.
And I would like an intimidate check and a stealth check from the hecklers.
Ooh, at least a 16 on intimidation, but a 14 on stealth.
So Nox, you are able to dip into the crowd, but effectively, Dag behind you goes, "Hey, you suck!" Like all of the goblins immediately are just like, "Boo! You're terrible! You smell good! What's... You're not really goblin-like! Not a true goblin! Not a true goblin! Not a true..." They are very into their own culture of just bearing down onto Aspen Beam. And very quickly the crowd goes from being angry to just more or less confused as they all turn around to see this horde of By the way, the Hodozi are completely embarrassed at this point because they really did know how to react to these goblins that are using their own versions of these insults.
Oh crap! What's the...
Your head is empty! Cowardly! You go and kiss orcs!
Nox is going to give a little thumbs up in the crowd, like, yeah, that's good, that's good.
And after a little while, Aspen Beam will kind of turn the direction of the kobolds and the goblins and be like, "It is not uncommon for those who do not see the path forward to come face to face with debate. And I want to let everyone know that we are open to ensuring intermixing of cultures, whether it be..."
I'm sure that you'll be open to intermixing of cultures, so long as you're the one who's the only one who ends up with the money from the stripped crater you'll leave this asteroid as.
Yeah, backs this up with strum of her lute. Very, sort of a power chord.
There you go. For somebody
with
who's
reverb.
so interested, oh, I love this idea. For somebody who's so interested in the movement of money, I'm certain that nobody except you is going to get any. And this whole cultural thing you're going, nobody except your culture is the one that's interesting, isn't it?
Everyone will be slaves after. Left alone to drift on an empty shell of a rock.
Of course, we'll just drift over the crowd.
Didn't you tell all your people that before you decided to start making a rally that suggested that they would potentially be involved in your plans as well?
Turning to look upwards. Are you standing on the side, or are you just looking over the edge?
I'm on top of the roof so she can see me, but more so that I can address the rest of the crowd. So you all came here today to talk to this lovely corrupt counselor, didn't you? Did she tell you that she was planning on selling the asteroid to the coalition?
Oh ho 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 ho.
Nia strums a dun dun dun.
Did she tell you that this was going to happen? Or were you all as taken aback as the rest of us were?
It is at this point I feel like you should start providing paperwork, but I'm not sure what I was thinking about it.
People are starting to yell. I want persuasion checks.
Ooh, hell yeah.
The goblins and the kobolds are still yelling randomized chanting.
Nox rolled a 19, and Nox is going to start a chant. Instead of not a true goblin, what's the name of the asteroid we're on again?
Omia.
Not a true Omian. Not a true Omian. Traitor to her kind. Not a true Omian.
I got a 20. Now I got the paperwork here that'll prove it. Not that she wanted any of you to see it.
That will immediately get her attention looking up. Ladies and gentlemen, interlopers.
Oh, shut it, you lousy excuse for an elf. If you have to hide everything behind a demon to make certain that nobody can get to your stash, so you can make fun of everybody who works for you because they aren't daring to do everything you want right, then maybe you shouldn't be on top of Omnia in the first place.
See, several of the guards will have already started to draw out their weapons, but she'll
Go
actually
on.
hold up a hand. She'll hold up a hand to kind of cease their actions. I still have the upper hand here.
And
I
have
don't
the
know what you're going
paperwork.
to gain.
And I have your paperwork and evidence of collusion with the coalition. Or maybe you'd like to explain to everybody about these peace talks that you yourself were invited to at the end of the month.
Nox is going to start chanting, arrest her, seeing if he can get any of the crowd chanting it too.
Or maybe you'd
Persuade-
like to explain to everybody about, what was the name of the corporation that she was partnering with?
Everburn.
Maybe you'd like to explain to everybody about your attempts to work with Everburn. I'm certain that everybody here would be thrilled to know about how they were also going to get all the money from Everburn as well. Or maybe we could go down to the Delves in the lower city and talk to them about how Everburn was going to burn them out of their homes. But you wouldn't know anything about that, would you?
Naya, Eris, Rovan, are you contributing anyway?
Eggs might
Nia's
be nice.
providing Nia's providing emotionally appropriate musical accompaniment. Subtle enough that she's not drowning out Vale's words, but she's adding like a subtle feeling of tension to it. She's pumping up the atmosphere.
like their
she's
music.
doing what a bard do.
Bardic inspiration, perchance?
Possibly.
Seems like an idea, yeah.
Vale and Nox, both Nox persuasion and Vale intimidation. Aerith and Rovan, what are you two doing?
I am continuing to observe. Could I take a look at the? Do I see any individual that is acting odd? Not it is somebody in the crowd that is not being swayed or being emotionally. Is there anybody that's not emotionally invested in this whole display?
There are a couple people that
wait.
seem to be picking fights between each other. You can see some people are kind of mixed sides. Some of them look quiet as they kind of are talking between each other as if like they came here fully supporting Aspen Beam, and somebody has just come out and said that there's evidence that they're going to get burned out of their homes.
And is there anybody that doesn't look emotionally invested in this?
Aspen Beam.
Oh. Well,
There's
Rowan
no.
will continue to keep an eye on her, but also continue to watch the crowd for anybody that doesn't seem like they're reacting to somebody as if somebody told them they would.
You're kind of
Or
looking for
number.
like stoic people, plants of some sort, maybe aspen beams or maybe of a different faction, right?
Yes, anybody that doesn't look like they.
Out of all of the crowd, you find that still the only one who's not showing much response is Aspen Beam, who is seemingly looking just very blah. As she turns back to the crowd, my opponents would go ahead and send these individuals with falsified information.
Are you bloody kidding? Falsified information? I got it from your goddamn... Why would you consider it falsified information? Because you have something worse to hide? Or is it just your bloody tongue that can't spit truth?
Goblins going back, calling her Tinkerbell, Wedgie, Wingless Fairy, Lightweight, Mushroom Dancer, Faithless Woodland Sprite, Dew Drinker, Fey Monger, Discount Druid. Oh, sorry, Dryad.
Yep.
Daisy Sniffer, Weed Eater, Bird Boner. Bird Boner? Really, guys? That's what we came up with? Ooze Baiter, Tree Fucker. Okay, now we're just getting, like, at what point does he have to be like, okay, calm down a little bit?
Nox will even look at the goblin, just like whap him on the forehead. That's rude. Don't be rude. Be indignant.
Please, I
We don't stand for corruption in Omnia, do we?
If I could have all of your attention for a second.
Nia strums a very loud chord in a wordless no.
Arrest the traitor!
Arrest her, and I will submit this evidence to the rest of the council for authentication, because obviously we can't trust this one to keep her nose clean or tell anybody the truth. Because I'm damn certain that the rest of you lovely folks out here were told about this arrangement and were able to say, no, I don't want to have my asteroid taken apart out from underneath me. And if that was going to happen, I might actually like some money from it. But that's not what's going to happen if she has her way. The council wasn't aware of this. She sold everybody out, or at least is planning to. But I'm a detractor who doesn't know what I'm talking about. No, I'm just the one who got to watch people die because she's the one who decided they needed to. But that's who you want as your counselor? That's who you want as your ambassador?
Someone who's willing to welcome pirates into your city to poison your waters.
Oh yes, we haven't even covered that. But you all were told about that as well, weren't you? Vale's waiting for, like, a cry or a roar or, like, outrage or indignation from the...
Don't have loud enough angry crowd music, but effectively people are starting to put together issues here. Some of the... You can even see some of her personal security are looking really nervous as they're trying to indicate to her that, ma'am, what is your next move? And she's kind of standing... She stopped looking so much out and just looking towards Vale.
Arrest her!
Surrender yourself, Aspen.
Vale will try and get a chant going with that.
Nia strums the rhythm,
Let this not turn into bloodshed. Submit yourself to the investigation and not let anyone get hurt today.
Please tell me that there's, like, somebody I know in the crowd that's potentially, like other than my party. Voiceless, counselors, something.
You don't spot anything, but you do hear the click.
What?
As Aspen Beam walks inside. And the crowd seemingly dies down. Actually, no, it does not die down. It's angry. They're furious. The guardsmen all seem to take positions by the front door. And unfortunately, I don't have the voice modifier for this.
Describe.
No, it's unfortunate. It's more metallic in nature. But the last thing you hear is the words Vale being the closest. I told you not to interfere.
That didn't sound good.
And a bomb goes off.
Where?
Right where you were standing.
Lovely. I'll make a jump.
Oh, you're going to be doing more than a jump.
Yeah, well, let's try and land attempting on our feet here. It's not going to work, but, maybe I won't die of incineration. Hopefully.
I'll take flight and try and catch her.
Vale, I need a dexterity saving throw.
Oh, this is great.
This is a massive explosion
20.
that goes off. Oh my god.
I'm
And that's what the
Come on, yes.
that's what the disadvantage from even with the -2?
Yes.
Yeah, no, it's good on you. And Nox is
isn't
close
what I
enough
want.
for a reaction. He can cast Featherfall on her.
Trust me, I will die from this stupid ass, like, cursed aspect. So don't worry, it's gonna happen sometime. Right now, I'm just lucky. A metallic voice? And I'm the only one who heard it?
Underneath Veil. And immediately people start running for the hills.
What is approaching? I would do a perception.
As the building explodes and a large metallic robotic structure steps out.
How large is it?
It is the size of a Spelljammer. And it is
Oh my God.
walking on two legs with two large, massive arms. People are dying left and right. Hold on, I have to finish describing the situation, and there is now players to put on a board because you guys moved like hell.
And all Nox can say as he's watching this happen, "Oh, you beautiful piece of art. I can't wait to take you apart."
That is the only appropriate finishing comment to that entire speech.
Oh. You stood in the range of a fireball.
Who?
Me.
Hey, you have your amulet.
Oh no.
Right, I do. I
So-
forgot to add that. Oh, no, I did.
It's in your Discord thing.
I'm trying to get people like back in position here. Bear with me. Sorry, Rovan, you were like right there. So if you, let's see here, what's the range we're talking here?
5d6.
Oh, no, it's 8d6,
Right.
and the range is 20 feet. So Rovan and Vale, you were a roved, and you gave me how much for your dexterity saving throw? 20.
I think so,
Yeah.
yeah.
It was
Rovan,
20.
I do need a dexterity saving throw.
Savings are coming up. Rolled a 12.
Ow. Am I still
What
fucking alive?
is-
How much damage?
I'm still calculating.
What the fuck is the damage? Oh no.
Probably lots.
It's 31 if you didn't pass above a 10.
Was I able to?
So it's half
Before
of that.
Was I
Go
able to fly out and catch her?
You can catch her, but she's still going to take the damage.
Well, I did roll the 20-something or other, so does that count?
Well,
You would have felt the explosion and tucked in on yourself as the flames built up and hit you. And you felt Rovin's grasp. Rovin, how far can you move out if she shot
Eris?
forward? Eris, how far would you move out if she shot forward?
I'll do whatever I need to intercept her.
I'm gonna use the Ember-bound Aegis.
I'm going to say you could grab her right about there. Midair.
Wait, shit. Same building Neo was.
I'll do that, and I will bring her down to the ground, closer to Nox if
10.
possible.
I'm still gonna use the Ember-bound Aegis. And, yeah, I'm gonna roll a d10. I got a 4.
So you can send back 4 of the damage from the flames back to the user.
Yep.
As you watch the flames retract back towards the object, you see it bounce off.
So half of 31 minus 4.
As it bounces off, you see the entire outer shell of this structure begins to glow with a bright green.
Can I make an Arcana?
You can.
Oh, fuck yeah, that's a high roll.
Wow.
You can't really... Oh, that was Eris? Okay. Eris, you're having trouble kind of identifying, but you can definitely still pick up that this is magical in nature.
Yeah, can I identify more about the actual object itself being, if it's a Spelljammer, I would have thoughts on this.
It was the size of a
you
Spelljammer.
can.
Oh,
It's the size of a Spelljammer.
Yeah, cool.
25 on Arcana.
You want out a roll for that, bro?
Go ahead.
What do you want me to roll? I'm asking.
Do your modified insight.
Is that +2 or something like that? I can't remember what the modification is.
Nox, you can identify as you see this bit of... You saw the spark that flew off of Vale. By the way, I guess since both Roven and Vale passed, you guys only take 15 points of fire damage.
Minus 4 for me.
Because of
Minus 4.
because of
the-
the amulet, right?
Yep. You can identify that the power that seems to have reflected off the damage as it spews off, it seems to have been deflected by some sort of overshield.
Lovely.
You can see that at that point, 5 large domes seem to form on the back of this large creature. And if you scroll to the top of your screens, each one containing a shard.
Oh god, that's what she was using the shards for.
Do I recognize the green shard?
You can recognize the same effect that is producing the overshield. Seems to be a similar buff to what Anki has provided.
Nox is gonna pat his pocket where he keeps his shard. Go take care of this.
And as you all watch the terror of people running back and forth, individuals fleeing, you hear this mechanical voice that says, "I am tired of all of your stupid games. Omiya is mine."
Can I identify any entrance points into this object?
It looks locked up tight. It is not a traditional version of what you've seen. The head, which is usually where the Spelljammer chair is not in the standard place. There's a large cannon in place.
Guys, I think this is the deity that we fought underground. Remember, I had the red god gem and I gave it?
Yeah.
I wonder if this is...
Huh.
This is what they were talking about.
And the last
stolen everything.
The last part you hear from her is a long, drawn out laugh, and then the words "Mythos locked," and that is where we're going to call the session tonight.
Oh God. Okay. All right. Well, shit.
Bring it,
I
bitch!
should have gone in there and stolen absolutely fucking everything.
I was almost too excited when you didn't.
Well, I almost died the first time.
I know. So how do we feel?
The next time I am like fuck. The next time I infiltrate shit, I'm just gonna rob everybody fucking blind. No more Mrs. Nice Person.
Somebody comes back home, their home is gone.
I meant nice things, damn it. Assholes. I'm just gonna do it to all the assholes.
Bad people don't deserve nice things.
You don't steal from good people. Godshard shouldn't have been in her fucking... God damn it! I meant to, too.
It do be the way that it is sometimes.
I also know that, sorry guys, I know that we unfortunately cannot complete a boss fight at, in under 16 minutes.
No.
Based on our history. I will go ahead and drop some things. You guys do incredibly well with your thought processes and systems here, because I was not entirely prepared for y'all to bring as much backup as you did, or the fact that you guys were going to go ahead and uptalk her like that.
Vale's
But-
good at throwing shit.
When we come back, you guys will be involved in the overhaul fight.
Oh no.
Well, assuming any of us fucking survive, at least they'll be able to have one less fucking corrupt asshole on their place.
I'd like to go ahead and
Well.
also take this moment and like to direct your attention to a named a player who I will not name, who said that I needed to make things a little bit harder.
Oh no.
Fuck you.
That was being too squishy. I'm not going to be squishy anymore.
Well, let's see how it goes.
Well,
You don't realize how squishy you're going to be.
we're already pretty squishy. I think you meant the past tense. We are squishy. We're going to be squished.
No. I don't believe so at all, actually.
I do.
I still don't know what happened to Nia. Wasn't she on the building with Vale?
No, you weren't. And thankfully, I'm very grateful for that.
Yeah, I don't think Eris ever lifted you up.
No, you ended up staying on the ground. Dear God, you would have died. No, I'm okay with that. Dude, I barely
Turn attention
survived.
to
but
poor
this will be
Roven,
okay.
who's smoking right now. Roven, how are you anyway?
What sucks is I have healing potions. I keep forgetting to distribute them to you guys.
Yes,
Uh.
yes, you do.
Roven is
Eh.
okay. He sort of expected something like this was going to happen because something like this always happens with this crowd of people.
You're still
is
with
why.
us, bro.
This is why I have traditionally worked alone in the past.
Well, I'm certain you will in future.
You might be working alone pretty soon here.
Vale, despite your best efforts, I shall ensure that you survive the upcoming battle.
I don't know whether to be offended or pleased.
Nox.
So, oh, go ahead.
Nox.
No.
Nova.
Yes?
I need to get into that thing. I need to find a way to get me in there.
I'll
You
keep.
can automatically tell why, but I want in.
You need backup going in there, bud.
Oh, I'm gonna get it. It's gonna be mine.
We're gonna get new toys. We're gonna
Assumes
get
we
If
all
we
don't
survive.
die.
If we survive to get them, we're gonna.
We need to find a way
get
through that
new
shield, Nox, and then we
toys.
gotta get in there.
I want all those
Hmm.
shards. Fuck it. I want the. I
we have
want
another-
like.
Do we have a new shard keeper? I got shit I can give you. Let's make trades.
I just want all those shards so I can keep them out of like her hands, and I also want to go check on Eridan because honestly, I figured that a thief, if they're gonna have a patron, then one that's officially theirs as opposed to I was watching you while you died, type situation. That the God of Night might be a good person to have in her back pocket.
Yeah, whatever happened to Eridan? That's kind of a problem. An entire
We'll work on it. Right now, we have a few other problems that need to be addressed.
yeah, there's literally tens of bodies everywhere. People are running past y'all. The goblins don't know if they're scared or super excited, but all of them are screaming Boommaker right now. Mostly because there was a boom.
I'm also really rather pleased that like the counselors didn't show up in retrospect because that would have been bad.
And you guys are now finding what all that scrap metal and parts to the warforges and autonomes was being used for.
Aren't we so lucky?
It's so nice. It's so dreadfully, dreadfully nice.
I wonder what my autonome heart could do to me.
But
Overcharge.
you guys will have to find that out later. I'm not kicking you all away. I'm just letting you know. So next Wednesday will be my last technical in my mind secured Wednesday. I do have class, but I probably will not be working that night because that'd be kind of insane for them to be like, you're going to orientation class and then immediately going to work that night. If I do, my dearest apologies to both y'all and my sanity. But after next week, then I will have to keep y'all informed about what days I can do based on whatever schedule I'll have. My goal is usually to keep my days together, and I will preferably try to keep Wednesday out of the mix. I don't usually mind working weekends, but it'll only be 3 days a week. That means there'll be 4 days that I don't have to work. Well, I'll aim my best to still make Wednesdays not one of those days. But I'll keep you all informed. But thank you all for spending time with me tonight. I appreciate it.
We'll adapt
Thank
to
you
your
for-
schedule, Sean.
Definitely the highlight of my week.
Mm-hmm.
We
Right
appreciate
now, there's a very concerned little old man watching from a very tall tower
Oh boy.
as the heroes of Omiya will be
Face
taking care
certain
of
death.
business.
their best not to die.
This is I will openly tell you now, this is not an easy challenge.
We know that.
I could tell by the way that you even built it. The stones on the back obviously lead to some way that we need to do damage to this thing. Meaning,
Yes.
Oh, this will be fun.
We're gonna get a new toy.
We're gonna
Oh,
all
boy.
die.
No, we're not.
Well,
Vulcan
Okay,
and I
no,
are
let's
going to go
go-
try and suicide.
oh.
We're going to go fly into it.
Oh boy. He is just going to run around with her loot and try not to die and try to keep everyone else from dying also.
That's probably the most important thing that we're going to need to have done.
Precisely.
I don't know how well it's going to go. But
Neither do any of
Oh.
us.
Essentially,
we must do our best.
yeah, now's our moment, guys. This is going to be us having to make sure we do teamwork, cooperate, and think a few steps ahead.
Since when have I ever been good at any of that?
And this is like a simple fight in Divinity Original Sin now.
Oh God.
Oh, my
I
favorite.
finally finished
Whatever
that
am I
one.
going to do with that situation? Gee.
Which situation? And also what's your party comp? And also why is Fane so fucking ridiculous? If that man had an ass, I would kick it.
I'm lost with everything you just said. Long story short, we couldn't ever get out of the starting area because either we'd get bored or I'd keep dying or both.
The boat?
Well, no, we got out of the boat
The
Original Sin 1.
the island.
Yeah, the island.
off the
Oh.
island, yeah.
Oh, I haven't actually tried that one. I've only played 2.
The thing is, I would play a fighter, she would play an assassin or a rogue, go figure. And so she'd lunge first into battle to get behind someone for a backstab, then everyone would surround her and beat her to death.
Oof.
The second time I ended up with Leech, it was easier, because then I could stand in blood puddles and end up with, like, recovering health. And I really missed that when I started with the main stuff again. It's like, why don't I have this? This is fucking stupid.
Alrighty, guys. Well, you are released from me. Y'all have a wonderful night.